What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Throw up the deuces. There you go, baby.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm BKFC athlete Paige Dancer, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
Hey, thanks, Paige. I always love when you come on and give a shout out to the show. I appreciate it so very much. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cage Side with Christopher James. I am Christopher James, and we are here to have us a little party. What's going on, man? Some crazy stuff in the world of combat sports today. Oh, my God. Well, first of all the fighters for PFL are weighed in and everything. Fights already started. Bellator fighters all weighed in. My man Nick Newell is fighting tomorrow night, as well as Douglas Lima defending his title. Then we got the UFC press conference that was just going on. I couldn't even watch it because if I started watching that, I would have never made it to my show because, I got to see what's going on there. So I am here live right now. I got some guests lined up. We started a little later than we expected today because my first guest, that was supposed to be on Chase Sherman, UFC heavyweight. He had to adjust, so he's going to come on at the end of the show at 10 o'clock because he was training, which is something I love to see, so I'm good with that. But we are live right now. Big news in BKFC today. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship has stripped Dat Gwynn of his 135-pound title because he refused to defend it against Reggie Barnett. And also, he was asking for more money than the promotion was willing to pay him. There's been a lot of back and forth. A lot of people, listen, I'm going to say this right now. Dad's a great fighter. No doubt about it. He's undefeated. He's the champ, or he was the champ. And I have no problem with somebody trying to, leverage themselves and get more money. But I do have a problem with the champion that is not willing to defend his belt against the next number one contender. And that's what was going on here. Besides the fact that he wanted more money, he wants, superstar money, and no disrespect to him, but he's not that big of a superstar. I know he thinks he is, and just like, every athlete out there always thinks they're the greatest, they're the best, they should get all the money. The reality is, in this world, that's not how it works. You are worth what somebody is willing to pay you. Plain and simple. You don't have to like it, you don't have to agree with it, but you do have to accept it because that's a fact of life. So if somebody wants to pay you $100,000 to take a fight, then that's what you're worth. But if next week somebody wants to pay you $10,000 to take a fight, guess what? That's what you're worth. That's the way it goes, man. It sucks. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And with that being said, speaking of guys making some money, so this young man I'm about to bring on right now, he's a bare knuckle fighter. He had an announcement today. We'll talk about that when I bring him on the screen. But he took a fight with Chad Ochocinco, former NFL superstar wide receiver, on the undercard of Mayweather and Paul, which, by the way, did 1 million plus buys. I still don't know how they're going to pay these guys 100 million and 12 million or 18 million, because even at 1 million buys, it's only, 50 million bucks. But Floyd said he's getting $30 million just for 3 things on his shorts. I don't know. I don't care at this point, but my man told me that he was treated like a king and he definitely got paid. So we are going to bring him in right now. He's a cool dude. They call him Mr. Red Rims, and he is a pretty cool cat. We're going to bring him in right now after a successful journey to the boxing world down at Hard Rock Stadium. Mr. Red Rims himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Brian Maxwell to Cage Side with Christopher James. What's up, baby?
What's going on, man?
Oh, what's good up in the hood, baby? What's good?
None, man. Literally just walked in the door like 5 minutes ago from the gym. Today's my first day back. I took 3 days off to, heal up a little bit from the soreness and the body reckoning of the weekend.
And the after party, No,
I didn't do no after party stuff. I'm not doing no celebrating or none of that until after this bare knuckle fight in a couple weeks. And, after I win that, then it's game time. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to have a little bit of fun.
And I know you didn't celebrate because 7:30 the next morning, when everybody else was out still partying in Miami and doing their shit, I was on the phone with you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I was getting on the airplane.
I was like, what are you doing? Because I'm getting on a plane. I'm answering all these freaking messages. My Instagram following grew like 3,000. I mean, Everything was awesome. So let's talk about that fight and how the hell did you get there, bro? Because and before you even answer, I do want to say you put up a post, that I can't remember what the post said. Oh, you're out there to shock the world. Let me tell you something. The only thing that would have been shocking the world, and I said it to you on a Facebook post, was if you didn't beat this guy up. That was the only shocking thing because you're supposed to beat him. It's not anything that went any different than most of us expected. But let's back up a little bit. How the hell did you get there? Was that from some help with Mr. David Feldman and Nate Shook, or did they just randomly go, Brian Maxwell?
Man, look, I'm still baffled. I say that till this day. But Nate and Mr. Feldman, at the end of the day, they got the deal set up basically, and they presented me with the opportunity, and we're here now, and I'm like, I thank them so much, and it's a huge blessing, man. Like, I still can't believe they picked me. I still don't know how my name got thrown in the hat. It may be because of my little skid that I've been on, or what, but I don't know. I'm still baffled. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I mean, I guess it is what it is.
I mean, screw it. Doesn't matter how you got there. The point is that you're there, and you made the most of the opportunity. You're on a big stage. They did 1 million pay-per-view buys. I don't know how many people were on when you were on, but million plus pay-per-view buys. They had some issues with the streaming of the show, but you told me that they treated you like a king and that you got paid very nicely.
Yes, I got paid very, very well. It's my biggest fight purse to date, and I'm very happy with it. And like I said, I thank them, and I got treated, very, very, very well while I was there. They catered to me, and one of my sponsors, Fusion CBD products, if I needed anything, they hooked me up. They helped me with finishing my fight camp there in Miami at 2 different gyms, Warrior Gym and Boxer Gym there in Miami. I'm very grateful for those guys allowing me to come in to finish my fight camp up with their fighters. Well, not finish my fight camp, but basically finish training for that fight there. And, when I go back to Miami in a couple weeks, I'm going to finish at both of those gyms again. So when I come to weigh-ins that Friday before the BKFC fights, I'll probably just now be getting out of training. Just saying.
So, you've had some, fights with BKFC, on a big platform, but this was the biggest platform, like you said, your biggest payday ever. Take us through fight day or even the weigh-in day. Was it just surreal being around Floyd and his people? Did you actually get to chat with Floyd at all, or is he just kind of he shows up, does his weigh-in, leaves, doesn't really socialize? What was the story there?
I mean, everything was great. Of course, Floyd, when he goes anywhere, there's security team the size of NFL linemen with him, and everybody was cool and chill, man. I loved it. I love being around everyone, man. Like it was nothing but hospitality. Everybody was cool. The way I see it, if you treat them like normal people, they fucks with you. You feel what I'm saying? But if you act like a fanboy or a fangirl, you're gonna get shooed away and taken off by security. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But everything was cordial. But weigh-in day, I actually woke up early because I thought I had to weigh in earlier that day. So I woke up mad early, ready for weigh-ins, checking my weight, make sure I was good. And come to find out, I didn't have to weigh in till later that night with Floyd and the Paul brother that night. And I was like, man, I got up super early for this. But, it was all good. I still got my physical and all my paperwork filled out that morning. So everything was gracious. But for the rest of the day, literally weigh-in day, I probably slept. Literally slept half the day for real.
That's the way to do it, man. Fuck it. Fucking your job that day was to get on a scale. The rest of it was relax and recover, and be ready for the fight. So
yeah, like even right before weigh, I literally woke up like an hour before weigh-ins. Literally,
I woke up 4 minutes before we started the show. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, man, weigh-ins is when it really hit me that I was really about to fight Chad Johnson. Like I got so nervous, like I was bouncing around, it was already fight time, but it was just at weigh-ins. But it was an awesome experience. That's the most publicity I've gotten ever, and it was fun. Like all those cameras being in my face, all eyes on me was great. Like I felt like I belonged. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I absolutely do, man. And you did. You know, you belonged because they picked you to pick the fight. So you absolutely 100% belong. Like to shout out Just Heart Apparel and Just Heart Apparel East Coast, my sponsor for the show. Thank you so much for all you do, Mr. Andrew Sams. Let's see. Got some comments up here on the screen. Bruce Lucmedio says, "Hey, yo." He's another bare knuckle fighter. He'd be fighting on the 26th. Forrest, no, he's been on the show before, so you don't have to sing tonight. Rick Caruso said he bought the show and he still had to steal it because the stream was so bad on Showtime. That's fucking hysterical. And my man Forrest said he got a cold Rockstar, a packed bowl of some beautiful devil's lettuce, and he's ready for the show tonight. That's what I'm talking about.
Ain't no
that's
wrong
how
with
we,
that.
you know, dude, listen, it's like, it's that time, you know what I'm saying? What's up? Woo! You're just drinking it. I'm smoking it. That's all.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to Fusion CBD products.
Yeah, and Brian Furrow, I don't know if he's a friend of yours or a friend of mine, but he said, congratulations, bud. Enjoy the ride. So,
hey, man, I'm enjoying it to the fullest, man. It's been a wild week. You know, I've been getting message after message and after message. You know, when we talked Sunday, I told you that, you know, my Instagram followers was up by like 3,000.
Yep.
I'm almost at 10,000 followers right now. Cause Sunday before the fight, I was only at like 2,100 followers. Now I'm at like 9,800 followers.
Nice, man.
And it's crazy, man. It's been surreal, and you know, I'm not gonna say I'm riding the wave, but
you are.
You know, I'm in the moment. I feel like I'm in the best position I've been in a long time. My confidence is super high. And that's what I'm going to be bringing into this next fight in a couple weeks. And, you know, I'm living my best life right now. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, brother, I do. And, you know, I didn't watch the fight live because no disrespect to you, but I wasn't going to spend the money to watch Floyd and this YouTube guy go at it. I just felt it's a ridiculous thing. You know, it's more respectful to me. And, you know, people go, well, that's hypocritical, but you like Brian and Chad Ochocinco. Well, I did. It was a 4-round fight. It was Ochocinco's debut. It's not like Ochocinco was fighting somebody who was 50-0 as a boxer. I felt it was a cool thing. You know, I mean, I don't mind a little celebrity stuff once in a while, but, you know, for Floyd at 50-0 to go do this an exhibition, you know, it just bothers me. So I didn't buy it, but I did see the fight because, you know, somebody sent it to me. So I watched it after it happened. I was like, look at my dude drop the Ochocinco right on his face planted that fool. And no disrespect to Ochocinco, all the credit in the world for him getting in there, but it's not running across the gridiron. It's not, you know, catching a ball and running. This is punchy face, and you got punchy faced and you fell on your face. So, you know, but he's a good sport about it. You know, him coming out after going, I'm ready for Conor. Well, no, you're not, dude. Stop it. But anyway, we'll past all that. So congratulations on getting the fight and going out there and performing. I did feel that, I will say this, I have one criticism after I watched the fight. I felt like you were not
holding back. Holding back?
Yeah, don't do that shit, dude. Don't do that shit, dude. Go out there and knock a fool out. That makes me angry because you could have just finished him in the first round.
I could have.
And your check would have been the same, and you know, it would have educated him a little more. That's all. So,
hey, I love criticism. I'm glad you said that. Honestly, for real. But you know, like I've told someone before, man, like I was there for entertainment. Of course, I could have went way harder than that. I looked a little sloppy because I was trying to be an entertainer instead of being the fighter that I am. Well, boxer.
Yeah. Fuck all that entertainment shit, dude. You got to go out there, and especially, you know, to me on that card, you should have just went out there and dropped him as quickly as you could, because it would have let people know what the fuck is up with Brian Maxwell. Brian Maxwell ain't here to play. Brian Maxwell ain't here to be somebody's puppet. Brian Maxwell ain't here to be somebody's punching dummy to make Chad Ochocinco look good. Brian Maxwell's here to break necks and cash checks. That's it. Let's go. You know, wreck house and wreck shop and, you know, get that payday. And you did it. So I'm not bagging on you because I understand your mentality behind it. I'm just saying, as a fan and as somebody that knows you, I just wanted to see you go out there and unleash on him in the first round and just go, what?
Yeah, but at the same point in time, like everybody around me was like, "Why are you so calm about this?" When I should have been like, my head should have been through the roof about it, but it wasn't, man. Like there was still a factor of me being a big fan and respecting who he is. So I held back a little bit. I'm not afraid to admit that I held back a little bit. Of course, I got punched in the mouth. I'm not gonna lie, I got punched in the mouth, and it rocked me a little bit, but. As you can tell, when he did that, I came back straightforward to let him know that won't shit. I've been here before, you feel what I'm saying? But, of course, I could have went a whole lot harder. But, like I said, there was a respect factor. And if you could tell in the second and the third round, I was talking to him during the fight. And what I was saying to him is, let's go, Chad. Let's finish this fight. Let's entertain. Let's go. And because he was dying. And he even said it while we were talking, man, I'm dying. And I was like, let's go. And, like I said, we were entertaining. And, I called it in several interviews. I was like, I'm going to get a highlight in the fourth round. And just so happened, I got my highlight in the fourth round, like I said I was going to do. And, all respect to Chad. I've talked to him every day since the fight. And it's been super cordial. My respect for him is even more than it was before. Sure. And to drop another bomb, he's going to be with me at BKFC 18 in my corner.
Interesting. A guy that doesn't know what he's doing in your corner. Okay, I like it. All right, whatever, man. Fuck it. It's a little hype,
Man, he's going to be my second corner, though. My main striking coach.
As long as you don't talk and try to coach you up, I'm good, man. Let him fucking ride out with you, dude. But obviously, he's not the guy that should be coaching you. But I will say it's cool to have a celebrity of that level walk out with you. I ain't gonna lie, and there's just a little piece of as he's walking out behind you, going, "Yeah, I beat his ass." Yeah, let's be real,
man. Hey, man, it's nothing but respect, man. And what a lot of people say they're Chad Johnson fans, but a lot of people have been talking that shit also. But what those people don't know is, one, of course, they know he's an all-world athlete. And two, this man has been training with Floyd for 15 plus years, sparring and training to stay in shape for football. No, he's never had a fight, but he's still got that experience of training. And, for this fight, he took it more seriously. So it's not like exactly. And a lot of people are dogging that shit, man. Like chill out with that shit. Like he's got the experience. He just never fought before. Like, it's not just me fighting a football player. He's got the experience. He's an all-world athlete. And, I've seen a lot of people throwing shade like, oh, man, you could have did better against a football player with no fight experience.
But at the same point, listen, even though he was training, he had no fight experience. Let's just be real. He never had a fight. So, in some of the fans' eyes, like I said, that you should have went out there and just, put it on him. Doesn't matter that you're trying to entertain or be respectful. Or, because he's a big star and all that, you should have just went out there and beat him up quickly, finished it efficiently, and moved on. And that's what I've seen some fans say. Not everybody. I mean, like I said, I'm saying it because I wanted to see it just go, just to stop some of these people thinking they can come over to our side of the world in combat sports and just partake in it and succeed. That's a big problem for me, because if you called up the fucking Cincinnati Bengals and said, yo, man, I'm going to slip in this weekend and play wide receiver. That's cool, right? No.
Hey, I would do that, though. They would think it was cool.
I know you would. I know you would do it. What I'm saying to you is there's not another major sports league that would let that happen. The NFL, NBA, NLE. Michael Jordan got to play minor league baseball. Tim Tebow got to play minor league baseball. But good athletes, and they had to still go through the system. They're not just going to show up on Sunday or, in the World Series and go, hey, here I am. So, with that being said, congratulations on the fight. It was awesome. Like I said, I did get to watch it after. I love how you planted him, did the Muhammad Ali pose over his face. That was awesome. That's why I put a little photo grid up of my favorite photos of that fight, and I set them all up, so there's a 4-pack there. But now we're going to move on. We're going to talk about your next BKFC fight. I saw you drop it today. I was hoping you were going to wait till you got on the show to drop it, but you didn't. That's fucked up. So now I got to fight you for $1 million.
Hey, look, I didn't drop it. Other people were dropping. I was like, damn, can I drop my shit first? Because I was going to wait.
No, you dropped it first. I saw it. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, but you are taking on Francesco Ricci at BKFC in June, the end of the month, 26th. at Hard Rock Stadium. Richie hasn't fought since he was injured. Guy was in a coma. I had him on the show. I was the first person to talk to him, do an interview with him after the coma and everything. And man, I was so happy to see that guy just alive and able to talk. Didn't care if he ever got into another fight. I just wanted to see him alive because it was touch and go there for a minute, you know. But he's back. He's healthy. He's ready to go. No adverse effects. How excited are you to face this guy back at BKFC? It's such a quick turnaround from the boxing match.
Hey, this was my original fight anyways. I just couldn't say nothing about it. And, you know, along the way while I was in training camp getting ready for that fight, you know, the Chad fight popped in. And, of course, me being a fighter, I'm going to take it. But, you know, I'm excited. Like, it's going to be a great fucking fight. Like, I'm not going to say I'm going to predict to knock him out, this, that, and the third. But I expect our fight to be so good that it's going to go all rounds. That's how I feel about it. It's an honor to be fighting him in his first fight back, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Because when he was in a coma, you know, I was praying for him too because, you know, he's part of the BKFC family. So, you know, we all got to stick together. But at the same point in time, now we got to fight. It's an honor. And, you know, I'm looking to put on a great show and just, you know, something happens in between there where one of us gets knocked down or knocked out or whatever, it happens. But I'm expecting to go all 5 rounds with him and put on a war.
Yeah, I don't think that fight's going to go 5 rounds. I think one of you is going to finish the other one. I mean, I'm just being real here.
Hey, at least you're being honest. At least you're being honest.
But and here's the thing. You know, I don't look at the odds of fights, you know, because then I think it clouds my opinion on what I think is going to go down. You know, if I see like, you know, if I saw the odds come out today for your fight versus him and it said you were a minus 800 and he was a plus 400, then in my head, I've already given that man no chance to win. And that's not fair to the opponent, whoever it may be, in any fight, you know?
Yeah.
Although I did see the odds for Leon Edwards and Nate Diaz, and Nate Diaz is a minus or plus 600 and Leon Edwards is a minus 450. So it's a crazy odd swing there. I was taking Leon to win that fight anyway this weekend at UFC, but I didn't think the odds were going to be such a disparity. But this guy's the truth, man, and you know, everybody likes to ride Nate Diaz's train, and you know, I never got it. Don't get me wrong, I think Nate Diaz is a cool dude. I think it's funny, but you know, except for the Conor fight where he beat Conor. Him and his brother both have never shined under the brightest lights in the biggest moments of their career. So to me, I don't get it. But, you know, they talk shit. They keep it real. They smoke weed. People love them. God bless them. He's capitalized on it.
Both of them. I fucks with both of them. Huh? I fucks with both of them. They actually watched my fight because one of my friends that I'm linked to out there, it's like literally best friends with Nick, and you know, I chat back and forth with them every now and again, and you know, they hit me up and was like, "We're watching your fight tonight," and you know, the Diaz brothers showed me mad support this weekend, which was fucking awesome in its own because I'm a huge fan of theirs, and you know, I rocks with them for real.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, by the way, your fight with Francesco now. Right after they announced that you were going to be fighting Ocho Cinco, little birdie told me about the Francesco Richie fight, and I almost put it out there.
Man.
You know, listen, cause look, I work in the media.
I already know.
It's no disrespect to anybody, but when I get news, I'm putting it out there. You know, if it's good news, if it's bad news, when I get it, that's what I do. Some people get mad. Oh, you shouldn't have did that. You should have let him. Look, man, I'm here to do media. You know, media means breaking stories. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. The more stories I break, you know, the more recognition I get. You know, the more recognition I get, you know, I get more hits, maybe more sponsors, maybe I get a bigger platform to work on, and that's my goal. You know, so
big
you know, if I find out who you're fighting, except for this time, because you had the Ocho Cinco fight on your plate, and I didn't want anybody to distract from that for you. I didn't want to distract you by talking about that fight, so I was like, all right, I'll just wait. And then I was going to pop it today before you popped it out. And then you put up, I'm going live. I got an announcement coming up. I was like, you know,
I wasn't even going to announce that on live. I was going to announce some stuff about sponsors and stuff. And
that's,
you know,
crazy.
And I wasn't even going to announce that fight until like tomorrow. Literally, I was going to announce that fight tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it's out there now. And it's cool. It's out there. This is one of those times where I bit my tongue and I didn't throw it out there because you had something else big on your plate, and it was such a unique, crazy experience. I didn't want to be the guy to distract you from that. But next time I hear about a fight of yours coming up before everybody else, I'm going to be blah 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 blah.
Hey, drop that shit.
Drop that shit.
That's
Drop it like it's hot.
You feel what I'm saying? But hey, man, like
when Mr. Rivers gets a fight, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Already know going in that I'm the underdog in this fight, just for the simple fact that, he's ranked number 5 at 175, and of course he's got the wins and I got the losses, whatever. But like I said, I've been in the lab. I'm ready to work. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna look how I looked in this Chad Johnson fight. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. No holdbacks.
I gotta go. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Our boy Zion. He called you scrub whale.
I already know that. Hey, we already been going back and forth before the show started. That's what me and Zion do, man.
I know, dude. Every time he's been on the show, you're always on the. I love it, dude. I love the back and forth with you guys. It cracks me up. What's up, Zion? Good to have you on board watching. Anthony Cruz, Angel Ortiz. What's up? What's up? Melanie Love, all you folks. Brian Furrow. Hey. So anyway, so you got this fight coming up. You just had that fight, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, this dude's just like so chill, so easygoing, so relaxed. You're just like, man, I get to fight people for a living, make a little bit of money doing that. Andy Hall said he's proud of you, by the way.
Thank you, Andy.
Zion said, "What's up?" And that's what you do to him too. I know it's when he's on my show, when he's on the show with us, you'll drop a funny comment and talk a little smack about him before you say what's up to everybody. He did the same thing. Now he's like, "What's up?" Yeah,
that's what we do, man. Zion, that's my guy, man. That's the homie.
That's Roanoke, baby. That's fucking, that's Virginia, baby. That's Virginia born, bred, bled. Fucking, that's what you guys do. You're all in the fucking. I love it.
Man, we all in it together, man. It's nothing but love, no animosity or none of that.
Hold on. I whenever I see certain people pop up during a show, I always want to make sure I shout them out, and they're shouting you out. The president of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship himself, Mr. David Feldman, said, "Man, my man did great," and I know he knows because he was up in the corner of you, and he was there. I saw a picture of him and Nate Shook right there. I was like, "Look at my dudes, my peeps,"
Yes, sir, man. And I'm so happy that they were with me, man. Like, they handled everything perfectly, and if they took care of everything, so, even things that I didn't know and shit behind the scenes, they took care of it, and I thank them very much for that. It's a true blessing that they even gave me the opportunity to do it, man. I'm forever grateful. Like, I've been counting my blessings ever since the fight came to, man. Like, into fruitation, man. Like I'm the man, even before the Chad fight, man, I'm the happiest I've ever been with fighting right now. Like I had some personal things going on within myself, and I like I told them before, I'm back. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, you looked good, you look confident. I think everything now, and now you're counting your blessings along with that paycheck. I mean, it's good. It's good to be Brian Maxwell right now. It's good to be in the Brian Maxwell business. That's no doubt about it. Your star has definitely got a bigger shine around it. It's what you do now in this next fight and subsequent fights after. That's what's going to, because you definitely put more eyes on yourself. So there's going to be a few more people watching you, and that's great. Now you have to go out there and deliver. I want to ask you too, and David's watching, so I'm going to ask you this, your opinion. I don't know if David will comment, but I think he said it all in an interview that he gave to Damon Martin from MMA Fighting. Today it was announced that Dat Nguyen has been stripped of the BKFC 135-pound title. They couldn't come to financial terms, and also he didn't want to fight Reggie Barnett, who is the legitimate #1 contender. I said the other day when I put that post up, I said there is no way you're going to go head-to-head with David Feldman and try to, have a big dick swinging contest with him and think you're going to win. And now that's out. People are all, twisted about it, but did BKFC, in your opinion, make the right move? And you don't have to go into a deep answer. I just want to know, in your thoughts, they had a guy who wanted more money than they were willing to pay and wasn't going to defend the belt. To me, they had no other choice. And David Feldman pays you guys pretty decent from what every fighter I've ever, talked to there says. He says he pays well. So
he does. I love it. I love it. Like, so they take care of us, man. Like the people that talk shit about it, man, those people, there's something wrong with them. there's nothing wrong with the organization. I mean,
Hold on
maybe some other things
Brian,
outside of that, but
hold on one second. I see you, Myron. Stand by, boss. All right, go ahead. My next guest is sitting there, and he's got his hoodie on. He's ready to roll. I hope he's got
I got
headphones
you.
or earbuds on.
I got you, but
Hey, Myron, do you have headphones or earbuds on? Yeah, go get those on. Ah, bad boy. He didn't have them on. See, and we don't have to jump right away. I just always like to let them know I see them, so they know that I know that they know that I know that they're here. But anyway, so back to the question. And I've been very vocal. Look, I respect that for trying to, elevate his cash. I'm not going to hate on him for that. But he's talking about fighting Artem Lobov, and Artem Lobov's got nearly 1 million followers. He's calling other guys out for not having social media. Look, he's got 20,000 followers on IG. And in today's world of social media and influencing, I don't care who you are, 20 ain't shit. You ain't even a blip on the radar at that point. So, he wanted to fight Artem because Artem has more followers, and Artem obviously would put more eyes on him. I get that. But he asked for more money than the promotion was willing to pay. And then again, of course, my biggest contention, even the money thing, it's the fact that he would not fight the #1 contender. And I, as a promoter, if I'm the promoter, that ain't happening. You're going to defend who I tell you're going to defend against. He's the legitimate #1. You do it or I'll take your belt.
exactly, that's the way it should be. And if you're doing all this ducking and running your mouth and not putting it to action, what can you do besides get your belt stripped? Like, you can't want to do other things without. If you're a champion, they say you're not the true champion until you defend your belt.
Amen.
And once you defend that belt and win, that's when you're the champion.
And that's when you have a little position of leverage to work from. That's what I didn't understand. And I said that in my original post the other day when I started talking about this, because of Dad's Instagram post where he said, I'm not fighting Reggie. He's got to do this and blah, 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 blah. And I, to me, it's like, look, for you to have the respect and acceptance of your contemporaries, which are fellow fighters, and to be respected as a champion, then you have to defend that belt. So if you don't defend it, then it's on you. And, I got to shout out a guy. Wait 1 second there. Gary Copeland, awesome referee, live from Atlantic City, saying, hey, Chris, I know he's at the PFL fight right now. He must not be in the cage right now, because if he's in the cage and messaging us, that's the first. Gary, I love you,
awesome.
bro.
That's awesome.
He's there repping. I hope he gets to ref Clarissa Shields fight tonight. But anyway, sometimes I get sidetracked. So, but at the end of the day, you agree with what the promotion did there and saying that, thanks for being here, but we're going to have to, let you go, and we're taking the title back because that's it.
I mean, they did exactly the right thing. Like I said, you can't do all this talking and, trying to start shit while another man is actually fighting and not defend your belt. You got to back those actions up. And like I said, if you're the true champion, you defend that belt, win it, then you're the champion. And I'm 100% with everything BKFC did. Amen. Like I said, man, I'm not a kiss ass. I love the organization. Nope. They've treated me very well since I've been here. I've been with them for 2 years now. I can honestly say I've been with them for 2 years now, and I've never once been done wrong. And I have a healthy relationship with them, and I love it. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And you should, and that's the way it should be. Promoter and fighter, your partners. It's not like he's – no disrespect to you, Mr. Feldman, but you guys are partners in this. You're not really – employer-employee, although that's how people look, and I understand why the dynamic of it, but you got partners in this. He can't promote fights if you don't have fighters, and you can't, fight if there's not promoters, so you got to work together. So I'm glad that you guys work together real well. I've only heard 1 or 2 people say they had, tough dealings with David Feldman, and most of the time they do it to themselves. So I know that'll never happen with you because you're a humble man.
Yes, sir.
But before I let you go, now my boy Forrest brought up the fact that you on the show, and even though I had you on before, I actually don't think I asked you to sing. Did I ask you to sing the last time you were on the show?
I don't think so, but I don't do no singing like that, buddy.
Well, no,
sir.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Every guest on the show sings at least once. You don't have to sing a whole song. I'm not asking for a concert, but sing us a little something. Give me 10 seconds of something, just to make my boy Forrest. It's his favorite part of my show, and I always like to make the kid happy. And listen, nobody else has ever said no. We're talking like 250, 275 guests. So, so dude, listen, you can't wuss out of this, dude. Just give me something. What's your favorite song?
I mean, I got I mean, I got a lot of favorite songs.
All right, just give me 10 seconds of any one of your favorite songs. Come on, you can do it, B.
Man, that's super embarrassing, man. Like,
dude, listen, and you know what's funny about that? The fans dig that shit because you make yourself a little vulnerable and they see that you're just a human being like them. And that's why I started doing this a long time ago. So you got to give us 10 seconds, man, because if you don't, then I'm going to call you a pussy publicly for the next 10 days.
I mean, that's cool.
No, it's not, dude. You better sing something, dude. 10 seconds or something. Come on. Even Zion did it, bro. You can't let him one-up you, bro.
Huh?
Zion, who's a lot more shy than you, even he did it the first time on my show. He sang.
Man, look, man.
look at my boy Forrest, dude. He said, hell yeah, come on, bro. Come on, man. Give me 10 seconds or something because I got my next guest waiting, man, and I got to, just give me something. Come on, 10 seconds.
Man, I don't. Man, that's crazy.
Just do it, man. Don't be so silly. Don't get so full of yourself that you can't have a little goofy fun and make a fool of yourself sometimes.
Man, look, I have goofy fun all the time, but singing like this, man,
dude, I'm not asking you. Hey, I'm not asking you to be like Prince. I'm not asking you to be Michael Jackson. I'm not asking you to be Usher. I'm just asking you to be Brian, like he's singing in his car, rolling down the street. Just give me something, bro. Come on.
Man, this is hard.
Dude, the comments are starting to coming in right now. People going, come on, man, you better sing. 10 seconds. You said you got a bunch of favorite songs. Give me 10 seconds of a song. Any song you like.
I don't know, man.
What was your walkout song? What's your walkout song? What's your walkout song?
Man, look, I didn't even want my walkout song, but that's what everybody wanted, so I came out to it and it helped.
I'm not talking about for this fight. I'm talking about your normal walkout song. What's your walkout song?
I mean, I'll be mixing it up. You feel what I'm saying?
All right, so give me. Hey, Sean Beckner said, "Sing to your girl, man." Melanie Lowe said, "Don't look at the camera." Andy Hall came on. He goes, even he's saying. And so, dude, 10 seconds. It would have been over already instead of you being like bitchy about it. Come on, 10 seconds.
Man, I don't know, man. Like,
all right, so listen, if you can't figure a song out, sing Happy Birthday to somebody.
Really happy birthday, though.
No, you ain't going to sing something else, but sing it. Don't just be like happy birthday. Brian, he said you blushing now, man. He calling you out. Zion said you blushing.
Man, look, I don't care if I'm blushing. He can pay for that shit Sunday.
Melanie said, stop fucking talking and sing.
Hey, look, first of all, all y'all.
Come on, just say, hey, fuck all them. Just sing happy birthday to somebody. Pretend it's my birthday. Sing me happy birthday, bro. Come on.
Oh, man.
You just fought in front of 1 million people, dude. Stop it.
I ain't going to sing in front of 1 million people, though.
You're only like 8 people watching my show. Come on, stop it.
Man, come on, man. I'm on here. There's more people watching than that.
Actually, it says there's 12. So
see what I'm saying?
All right. So they all want to hear me sing. Melanie says, sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Andy Hall says it was actually his birthday yesterday, so sing it to him.
I mean, I can give him like 5 seconds, man.
That's all. Give me 5 seconds of anything. I don't give a fuck. Just give me something.
Damn. See, I hate being put on the spot like that, especially when it comes to singing. That's some bullshit.
Come on, just Melanie just said pussy.
Hey, I'll be one today. I'll be one today.
Are you gonna sing happy birthday to Andy? Sing happy birthday to Andy. It's his birthday yesterday. Come on, I'll start with you. Ready? I'll start. You take over. Ready? Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Andy. Happy birthday to you. Bam.
There you go, man. That was like freestyle rap birthday song. Oh my God. Well, listen, brother. That was like harder than getting you to fucking sign a fight contract, dude. I'm going to slap you next time I see you. That's it. I'm just going to. No, I'm just kidding, man. I love you, dude. Thank you so much for being here tonight, man. So happy you had that opportunity to fight on that big card, and got to, rub elbows with Floyd and those boys. Sean Beckner said your singing was weak as hell, just so you know.
Yes, it was. It was weak as fuck.
But
I can dig it, though.
But all your people out there are digging it, man. People that love you, man. So we're glad you did it. I'm glad you took that fight. Good luck with Francesco on the 26th on BK FC 18? 18?
Yes, sir. 18.
If you want to watch the fights, get the app. Get the app.
Yes, sir.
BK TV app. Go get it, man, and watch the fights. Mr. Redmond, Brian Maxwell, thanks for taking the time. I'm going to jump out. I got my next guest waiting. God bless you, dude. And glad you, like I said, glad you got that moment, man, that big check, and then you got the huge platform, and you deserved it, man. Fuck, that's why they called you. So
yes, sir.
Be
Thank
well,
you.
Stay safe. God bless.
Yes, sir.
Peace. All right, that was Mr. Maxwell. Now, I've got my next guest. We're going to jump right in with him right now. I met this guy years ago when I was working for XFC, and he showed up. He was part of the new investment group. I think the first time I interacted with him was at a tryout, I think. Might have been at an event. I don't know. I will tell you guys this. I wasn't too sure about this guy then because, he was coming in and doing some stuff, and I was like, XFC was changing, and, nobody likes change. But then he took the show, went to Brazil, did that for a little while, then XFC went on a hiatus. He's been working hard for the last couple of years to bring him back, and he did it in a big way. They're on Fox Sports, and big things are going on. My boy Cyrus works for them. Happy to see them going. Pat Militich is over there. So we are going to bring him in right now for the very first time of the show, which means he knows what's coming up at the end. Mr. Myron Molotky. Myron, how are you, brother?
What'd you do to that kid? Brian Maxwell having to sing after beating up on Ocho Cinco, and jeez. We got to talk about BKFC tonight?
Yeah, well, we did because he fights at BKFC. He's fighting on the 26th against Francesco Ricci, a guy who in his last BKFC fight got put into a coma. It was fucking nuts. He got hit in the throat, and then everything just stopped for him. He was in a coma like, I want to say 17 days. Came out of it. His actual first interview back was with me, which was really cool for me because I was so worried about that guy. And now he's healthy enough to fight again. So that's going down on the 26th. You're a promoter. So I'm going to ask you this before we get into XFC business. Big news from BKFC today. Actually, let me even do that. First of all, how the hell are you, dude, man? Fucking A.
I'm doing great. Good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Good to see you, too, man. We both got a little more gray hair now. But you know what?
I thought I always had black hair, except my wife on last event said she sent me a text that Silver Fox. I said, "What are you talking about, silver?" Then I asked someone, and Cyrus, "Oh yeah, you're gray as hell, man." So
wear it proud, brother. Wear it proud, man. I used to dye my hair when I was doing XFC because everybody said, "Oh, you got it." And I just said, "Screw it, man. I'm done doing that shit." I dye the beard, I dye the hair. It's a pain in the ass, dude. I'm sexy like this. You look good. And you know what? And women dig us like this. That's why your wife called you a Silver Fox. You got her. Your look makes her a little randy. You know what I'm saying? She gets a little more excited. I said, look at my sexy Silver Fox. That'd be good for you. You know what I'm saying? Keep it, dude. Keep it.
You know what? We're in the combat sports business. I recently called, snaggled tooth, arrogant prick. You hear it all, right? But
yep.
That's what we do. So
we get it all. So what I want to ask, you're a promoter. Today, BKFC, David Feldman had to release a champion because they couldn't come to financial terms, and because the champion refused to defend against the number one contender. I don't know if you've had to deal with that yet since you've taken over, but if you can't come to terms with the guy and he's your champion, and he won't fight the number one contender, no matter what the paycheck is, what do you do? Because I think Feldman did the right thing. The fighter tried to play hardball. I need this. I got to get, and David Feldman is really good to his fighters. Every fighter I've ever talked to from there says Feldman pays well. And he's fair to the guys. He treats them cool, all that stuff. But, everybody has a line that, all right, you can't, you're not going to spend this much money for this fighter, even if he is a champion. I mean, they have a budget, they got to stay within. So if you are in that situation, do you handle it the same way? Do you say, all right, man, well, we got to let you go and we're stripping you of the title because we can't come to terms on your check and your opponent, and we have a number one contender that's earned a spot?
I think it's twofold, and I think probably the more important issue is not defending, right? So I take a look at it, and David Feldman's a smart guy. I mean, he's building a hell of a business there, exciting platform, everything he's got going on. And you hate to see something like that happen, especially, you, as a promoter, as a, entity, you're building up a platform and you're building up your champions, and that's a big part of what you do. So that's a tough deal. Without knowing, all the details and things like that, I would hang it on, not going ahead and defending that title. That really puts a promotion into a horrible position, obviously. Yeah.
And Feldman made a statement saying, look, he goes, I got other guys that want to fight for this and do this. And if you're not willing, I'm going to move on. And I have no problem with that. You got to keep the division moving. And, for me too, everybody keeps, focusing on the money aspect. Oh, you should get, I don't hate the guy for trying to get more money. I don't hate anybody for their hustle. I don't hate Jake Paul and his brother for hustling themselves into these big positions. They're hustling. They're making big money. God bless them. I won't ever watch any of them fight. I don't care who they're fighting. I'm not going to watch them because I can't. I think it's insulting to the sport of boxing or MMA or whatever they're trying to do. And it sucks that they're getting these huge paydays. And we got guys that, champions in the UFC that don't get the same kind of paydays. We got John Jones, the greatest in the world. He's fighting with Dana White about money. I think John Jones is one of those guys that's earned the right to say, all right, look, I deserve the money. Conor McGregor gets the money. He's the biggest social media. He's the biggest star in MMA. There's no doubt, but he's not the greatest fighter. Let's just be real. So, but I'm more concerned about the non-defense of the title, just like you, because at the end of the day, that's what this sport is about. You become a champion when you defend your belt. You earn a title when you win the belt, and then you become a champion when you defend it. And if you're not going to defend it, get out the way, get off the bus, make room for those that want to do this,
Yeah, and probably where I'm, confused on it, because I saw it probably like everyone else on social media, and kind of raises a lot of questions. But, what was the setup going into this? Was this a matter of, he's under contract but wanted more money? Or
he wasn't under contract. He's never signed a contract with the promotion. He made a statement saying that they weren't going to promote him unless he signed a contract. And you got to sign a contract with the promotion if you want them to put the machine behind you. That's part of it. But he vehemently stated numerous times in public that he's not fighting Reggie Barnett, who is the legitimate number one contender. There is nobody else. I mean, the guy he beat was Johnny Bedford, but they're not going to run that back right away. It hasn't been enough time to let that build up and simmer. So Reggie Barnett gets the fight, and they wouldn't give it to him, and that's it. And he wouldn't take the fight. He said, I'm not fighting him. He should go fight this guy, and then maybe I'll think about it. Trying to play the leverage game when you don't have the, he was bitching that, David Feldman is paying, girls like Paige Van Zandt, ridiculous money. But Paige Van Zandt. You know what?
Take a look at Paige's, her Instagram.
Her Instagram or everything. Right. She's been on Dancing with the Stars. She does it all. And she brings eyes to the show. When she comes in and says, I want X amount of dollars, and she's going to bring people, she's bringing it. And you see it. I mean, if she puts up a picture of herself, in her backyard wearing a T-shirt and, sweatpants, jogging pants, or yoga pants, boom, within fucking 4 minutes, she's got like 10,000 likes. And that's just on Facebook. Instagram blows up even harder. And, she brings something, and she's a good fighter. Is she the greatest female fighter? No. Is she a good fighter? If people want to watch her fight, she's not afraid to go in there and get bloody and do the dirty work. I love her, and she's helping the promotion grow. But Dak Gwynn has 20,000 followers on the social media scale of, grading him on impact. He's not even a blip on the radar at 20,000. You're not an influencer at 20,000. And it sucks, it just sucks. But that's the reality of the world we live in today. That's why the Pauls are making this kind of money and Dak Gwynn isn't. That's what it comes down to.
And so you have to be a serious boxing fan to know who Dak Gwynn is, right? Paige Van Zandt's mainstream, Dancing with the Stars, like you mentioned, and like you said, she's the greatest fighter. No, but she's entertainment. She's pure entertainment, and people want to watch. So yeah.
So, well, cool. I wanted to run that by just to get your thoughts on. All right, so now let's get to the XFC, man.
Right.
You came back. Nobody knew if it was going to happen. We didn't. You guys went to Brazil, and then after Brazil, I think you came back. I don't remember if you did a show or two here in the States because it's been that long. And then you guys were just kind of gone. And then I started seeing posts coming up going, the XFC is coming back. And I'm like, they're not coming back. I don't see it because I didn't hear it from people that I knew that were in the business. I heard from people from outside. I was like, nah. And then all of a sudden, boom, there you were. I was like, holy shit, they're back. This is fucking cool. And I'm glad. I'm glad you were able to figure out a way to get it back and to really put the shows on again and give fighters opportunities, which is what the XFC was always known for prior to your arrival and even after your arrival when you went to Brazil. Opportunities were always given. And the XFC has turned out a lot of fighters that have moved on to the UFC and other big shows as well. I'm glad. For me, it's personally glad. It's not even, as just, a fan of the sport or a member of the media that I got another show to talk about. For me, it's like right here in the heart, because XFC was life for me, you know, and so now it's back and it makes me happy. I get all warm and tingly, you know, but you don't normally get for a fight, but I get like that for this, you know, it's XFC, you know, and saw the show the other night. I'm so glad that you, by the way, that you put me in touch with Bashy. That kid is so cool, man. I love that kid. Love him. But take us on the quick journey. How'd you guys get back and get right on Fox, you know, because that's also another difficult thing to do. And you were able to pull that off. A lot of shows out there been around a long time and can't get a TV deal, can barely get a streaming deal. And here you are on Fox.
Yeah, you know, it's as you know from the early days, right? You were heavily involved, heavily invested in it with everything that you had, and turned out a lot of great shows and had a lot of, you know, things swirling around and a lot of opportunity. And of course, like you mentioned, we took it down to Brazil, and Brazil blew up for us. Brazil was fantastic. You know, that really put us more on a global stage where, you know, the U.S. was not the priority at that time because Latin America was what we were looking to conquer, right? So good TV deals down there. But of course, Brazil went through World Cup, went through the Olympics, financial just shit show where it didn't make sense to stay down there. So, you know, we shut it down, and the journey was kind of, you know, over 4 years, like you mentioned. We disappeared, hiatus, but there was a small group of us that kept working on it. You know, before WME bought UFC, they flew me out to New York. You know, I sat with the mergers and acquisitions guys talking about they were looking at XFC. So instead of buying XFC for millions, they bought UFC for billions. So, you know, that was part of the journey. But we had interest from different countries, China, Russia, Romania, different groups here in the U.S. It was kind of a crazy ride until we settled in with this latest group of investors. They came in, they put some guarantees there that the money would be there to support this. They understood what we were trying to do. And then you start talking about, you know, how do you land Fox? And we just recently landed HBO. And yeah, hey, surprise. There you go.
Yeah. Surprise.
Surprise.
Dropping some knowledge on us, kids. So XFC is going to be on HBO.
Yeah. So we're starting with HBO Latin America, going to Europe, and then eventually here in the U.S. as well. So the HBO deal is going to be great. But of course, we started our own streaming, XFC TV. But it really comes down to content, right? And what we did in Brazil was it was high level. The fights were high level, like you mentioned. XFC in the past, when you were involved, Christopher, what we did in Brazil, so many fighters just went on to compete and become household names that actually fought inside the hexagon. So that content is worth something, especially to these broadcasters that we're able to put deals together with. Yeah,
and you know, content. You know, if you've got a good content library, you know, it sells, and it will produce income for you. And you know, this is a business at the end of the day, so you got to generate some revenue, or you can't pay the fighters and all this stuff. But the TV deals help because the TV, you know, a deal with Fox is probably worth a decent amount of money. The HBO deal is probably going to be worth a decent amount of money, and that helps, you know, fund, you know, what you guys need to do. And then, of course, ticket sales and all that stuff, and hopefully merchandise for you guys. I think, you know, the merchandise end, you know, you don't see a lot of, even UFC, you know, I mean, you see UFC T-shirts, but you don't really see more than that. You don't see guys wearing the fight kits and all that stuff. But you do see, I don't see as many UFC T-shirts as I would think I would see based on how this has grown. So merchandising is going to be a real key for you guys. And if you could figure out how to break that, you know, and get your merchandise out there, you know, with the good logo and everything else and the right coloring, you know, there's another revenue stream that I don't think a lot of, you know, I hate to say regional, but, you know, XFC is considered a high-level regional show. And, you know, it will slowly become a national show real quick, you know, and that's what they are. That's what they call it. Anything that's not the UFC or Bellator or PFL now is deemed regional. I think it's bullshit, but just, you know, for conversations with the people watching who, you know, some of my guests are not very, or my fans are not very bright, so I have to break it down. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. But merchandise, have you been able to, you know, pimp any merchandise out as it's something that, you know, you're going to try to really blow up, or is it kind of like, you know, secondary, you know, if we sell some, we sell some? What's your thoughts on merchandising?
No, a lot of focus on merchandising. Our merch has really blown up. People, it's a shit show. People just want the stuff. I'm going to send you a kit. How's that?
All right, cool.
I'm going to send you a fighter kit, and you tell me what you think. I don't want to brag it up, but I think our merch, it's we kept it so that it's going to be timeless. Not the crazy all kinds of swirls and animals and I don't know whatever.
Yeah, timeless. That works, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but our merch is cool.
I'll send you my address, man. I'm a little fatter than I want to be, but I'll take some free fight gear. I'm looking over here in my closet, and I can't reach it right now because I'm in the studio chair. But over here in my closet, I see my original XFC red hoodie, and it's like still my favorite hoodie of all time. It's comfortable. It still fits me. I got it big when I was back then. I knew I was going to get fat one day, so I wanted to grow into it. But yeah, we had some good gear back there, but we never sold anything. So hopefully you guys get those sales up, hopefully with the, personalized fighter kits of some of the champions that are going to be coming through. Has the transition now back to the States, putting on these shows on Fox, has it been everything you thought, or is it a lot more than you thought it was going to be? And I know you dealt with Heady TV down in Brazil and everything, but before that, you didn't really, when you came into the XFC, you weren't really involved in all that stuff in the beginning. Prisco was still handling all that stuff, and the TV deals were already in place. So you basically just got to show up and hang out, and watch the fights and, get a feel for the company because you were new coming in. Now that you had to do it on Heady TV in Brazil, and now that you're doing it at Fox here, is doing it here different for you? Do you feel more pressure? Are things going the way you want to? Also, I want to say hello to my next guest. He's sitting there at the. I see you, Keith Richardson. He's an XFC veteran, old school XFC.
I remember Keith. Yeah.
Yep. So he'll be coming on in just a few minutes. But so doing this show on Fox, with all the stuff, behind the scenes stuff that the fans don't see, production and all that stuff. Is it good for you? Is it too much pressure? Do you need people helping you with that, or is it something that you grasp and you enjoy because you want to make sure that every aspect of the show is right? So you welcome the craziness of producing a show because show day is fucking nuts.
Show day is nuts, and everything and anything can go wrong on a live event, right? But, I'm going to throw it right at, we've got a team that, so proud of. These guys came out of WWE. So our CEO, Steve Smith, was an exec at WWE. Our executive producer, Mark Hamilton, he produced Raw. He's been involved in so much. So these guys really get it. We really fine tune it. It's more teaching them the MMA part of this to understand what's going on in the production. But we're really happy with the production. I would say last event, when you take a look at it on Fox, camera work, there's things that we're going to work on. We've already made adjustments. We've had meetings since the last event that need to change with production. Sound, we weren't happy with that. Came off great in Atlanta, came off pretty good at Young Guns in Oklahoma. But this past event, the communications from the director to Cyrus to Pat to Blake inside the cage, just absolute train wreck from what we see, right? And of course, you try to get past it, but XFC TV shows more of a raw look at how this event goes. And a lot of changes coming, which I'm excited about. It woke us up when things go wrong. It wakes you up and you can change it, and things that you never see coming, of course, right?
Yep. And I've been there doing live stuff when we were doing on Access TV. I was walking up the stairs to walk into the ring, and the stairs collapsed under me, and fucked my leg up. I still climbed up on the side of the ring or the apron, got into the cage, did my announcement, came out, was like, oh my fucking God.
Of course you did. You're a wily veteran, man. You owned it.
One night at Combat Night down in Fort Lauderdale, somebody opened the cage door, not looking, and popped me in the head, split me right here. I had to go out with blood and then finally a Band-Aid. It was nuts, dude, but you roll with it. I've had audio issues where I can't hear the director. I can't hear the commentators go, all right, now it's up to Christopher James. That was my Michael Chavello. But
you sounded better than Michael does.
No, stop that. That guy.
Good night, Irene, right?
I love Michael Chavello. He's
awesome.
I wrote an article about him once. I said, if you want to, watch a fight with your ears, listen to Michael Chiavello call a fight, because he makes it so colorful and so in depth. You can close your eyes. You don't have to see the fight. And if you close your eyes and you listen to him describe a fight, you can see it in your head without having to watch the TV. So, so quickly, you've assembled a really good roster of fighters. Some UFC vets, some vets from other places, Bellator as well. But you got this young gun, and you got guys like Austin Bashi coming up. You got Kenny Cross, who you say is the face, even though Kenny Cross says Austin Bashi is the face. I don't know, man. There's so much going on there right now. How happy are you with the roster? I know you're going to continue to develop it and, do other tournaments and other weight classes and all that stuff. But overall, how happy are you with the roster of fighters that you've assembled? Because I think you've done a really good job at finding some talent.
Thanks. Yeah, it's these tryouts have been great, and of course, from the Brazil to where we're at today, all our connections on a global basis. It'd be great to be able to add some LATAMs on this roster, some Eastern Europeans, and a lot of fighters that we have our eyes on that you just can't really get in the country because of the visa issues and embassy shutdown, things like that. But right now, where the roster's at, I love it. You mentioned the young guns. That's the future. And, it's one of those things you mentioned, a high-level regional, you know what our goals are, right?
Yeah.
We want to take this right to the top, of course, and we want to have a roster that is an ingrown roster, something that we develop. We're not a feeder league, with all respect to UFC. We are, we're not looking for a feeder league, and we're very upfront with our fighters. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a home? Is your, hey, these kids don't grow up saying, I want to be an XFC champion when they're 8, 9 years old. They want to be a UFC champion. We get that. But the key is, and what my job is, and the rest of the staff, is when these contracts come up after they've had a successful run inside the hexagon, we have to do our jobs. So they say, why would I leave?
Right.
We've got it so good. They treat us well. Everything's great. They pay us well. And that's what our job is, as soon as all these kids start seeing the big success.
Yeah, I think somebody I'll bring up is Kurt Holbaugh. He's been to the UFC, and now he's fighting with you. And I don't think he's looking to go anywhere. When a guy gets released from the UFC, the goal is to do everything to get back there. Every one of them. And some of them do, but some of them never make it back. And I had Keith. I had him on the show. Or Kurt. I say Keith. I don't know why. Because Keith is coming up next. That's why I'm looking at it. Yeah, he's down there. That's right. But when I had Kurt on, he was very happy to be in the XFC. He's very happy with what you guys are doing, how you treat him and everything. And that's what you want to hear from the fighters. So, I think that this is going to be very good for you. Somebody turn on lights on you. Now we can see the hair.
The most vicious athlete I know just walked in. He had surgery
Bashi.
Friday and went and watched the girls.
Oh, your son.
Tonight. Yeah.
Your son. Yeah, I read that post. I was like, man, that guy's fucking nuts. Fucking played the whole season injured and just, went out there and did it. Yeah. God bless him, man. That's crazy. And then he had surgery and he's already back walking around, just being like, whatever.
Yeah.
To be young and stupid again. That's how I feel when I see stuff like that. Because when you're younger, you don't care. You don't get all caught up in it. I got injured, had the surgery. I got to get up and walk. I got to go do this. I'm going right back to my life. They don't, the older we get, the less willing we are in some things like that to, take the chance and do stuff. We're like, oh, no, I got to recover. I need my book. I need a pillow. Yeah. Look at me. I got gray hair. I got
you look the same as you did 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
Oh, my God.
So.
But, well, listen, I am very happy for you. The success that has already started to, show with XFC, just so you guys know, when Myron did take over and everything, I was kind of an asshole in the media, putting some stuff on social media and everything. And I talked with him about that, recently. And I just want you guys to know out there publicly that, I was a dick and I was wrong. I don't have to say that publicly to anybody. Myron already knows how I feel. I tell them how bad I felt, and it, bothered me from then till now. We're talking 8 years, But I think it's important when you say stuff publicly to come out publicly and say, hey, you were wrong. So, for any of you guys that read anything I ever said about Myron and XFC back then, just know that I was a dick. I was wrong. But I was being loyal to the people that brought me in. And, I was also upset about, the way it was change and direction, all that stuff. So, it was easy to put the blame on anything bad on a guy I didn't know. So I put it on Myron, and I shouldn't have. That was me being an asshole, me being a dick, me being immature. So, even though I apologized to him privately, this is a public apology because I was wrong, and I shouldn't have done that, and I won't do that to anybody ever again, That's fucking.
Hey, listen, you and I talked about it. You didn't have to do that.
I know.
On a public thing. But thank you, but you didn't have to because
I know.
honestly, we're in the MMA business. We have maybe one feeling, and maybe my one feeling was hurt for a few minutes, but we move on, right?
Yeah, but like I said, I must have a one feeling that didn't want to go away. So that's why it was important. If I reach out to you and talk, and I have no problem. There's been stories I put out before where I was wrong. I have to come out and do a retraction. I don't have a problem. Being a man means not admitting when you're right or bragging when you're right, but bragging when you're wrong and admitting when you're wrong. That you don't. I mean, bragging when you're wrong sounds stupid, but that's what you got to do. So you got to brag that I was fucking wrong. Everybody's going to be wrong once in a while. So, fucking, make mistakes. It's what you do after you make the mistake. If you own it, God bless you. If you don't, then you got some growing up to do. I'm 52. I guess I finally grew up a little bit. Who knew?
You're doing great. Show's going great. Love getting you on air. Absolutely.
All right, so now before I let you go, I'm going to do it to you.
Oh, shit.
It's singing time with Myron Molotky. So, don't be the first to say no, man. I mean, I got Bashy. I got this other kid to do happy birthday. You can cop out and do happy birthday as well. Or you could sing us a little something. And I'm looking at you. I'm going, man, I'm thinking like a Frank Sinatra song is coming out of your mouth for some reason. I don't know why, but I see you on a boat jamming out to Frank Sinatra. You're from Michigan, and you got the water up there. So I just see you on a boat, like going, "Fly me to the moon," or whatever.
Well, you did it for me, so we're all set.
No, you got to do it yourself.
Your viewers are going to hate you for this. I've got the worst voice, and seriously.
Listen, they love it, dude. I like I said to Brian, and I said to Austin, the fans like this little piece of the show because it makes the people that they look up to as athletes, it's different with the promoter, but the fighters, when the fighters get a little vulnerable and they get all goofy like Brian did or like Austin Bashy did, it makes the fans connect. It just does. The fans go, you know what? That'd be me if Chris asked me to sing on the show. They all have that little thing, and it's a connector, and it does. I've had fighters come up to me and tell me like years after they did it on the show how many more followers they got because they did that on the show, and how many more people dig their shit. I'm like, cool, you're welcome. You got to pay me? Oh, you're a dick. Yeah, I don't care about that shit, man. So, all right, so give us a little something, man. What you got for us?
Oh, man, I'll tell you. Okay, you know what? I've watched enough of your shows that I'm not going to sit there, and I know you had between Austin and then Austin a week or so ago, and then, of course, Brian tonight. Song, jeez. I'm not a music guy. I've got the worst voice. And probably won't remember words, but I was working out earlier. Anyone like Leonard Skinner?
Fuck yeah, bro.
Fuck yeah. Here we go. It's not a Frank Sinatra thing, but
that's all right, man.
All right. Shit. I should have remembered that you were going to do this. I didn't remember until you were hammering Brian. So that's great.
Yeah.
All right. Leonard Skinner. What song was it? Freebird that I heard. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? But I must be traveling on now. There's too many places I've got to see. That's all I got.
That's enough, man. That was more than Austin and Brian combined, dude. And while your tone and everything, like you said, you're not a singer, but you had the flow of the rhythm, like you were hearing it in your head, and you actually, you're pretty much on the rhythm and the point of the song. So I give you credit for that because some guys, they get lost in it, man. But thank you. That was awesome. There you go, Forrest, and all you other people.
You just don't give up. And Forrest is sitting there just going, oh my God.
That's part of the show.
Don't let this guy sing again, right?
No. Look what he said. That was awesome.
Oh. That's Forrest, man. Is that a Michigan State Spartan head he's got on?
That is a Michigan State Spartan head.
I love it. I'm a Spartan myself.
He lives out in Oregon, but he pimps for the Spartans hardcore. He's actually probably like one of my biggest fans and followers. He's been following me for years. Always supports everything I do. So and if I give like my stamp of approval, and he jumps in, so he's going to be all about the XFC now too, which is awesome.
Well,
but we're going to let you go.
Go green for us.
Go green. We're going to let you go. Thank you for taking the time. We'll definitely do this again, maybe before your next card. We'll have some pre-fight talk, because I would like to do that with you. And I'm going to send you the address for the fight kit. And I was hoping you were going to make a big announcement, like you're bringing me on Team XFC, but maybe you're going to save that for
we talked yesterday. We talked again today.
Right, hold on 1 second. Keith, I don't want to leave you sitting there fucking not involved. I saw you sitting there. I was going, man, he's getting frustrated. So, Keith, I don't remember. Keith, did you ever meet Myron?
No, I think I was. I think I left that organization.
You were left by that point. Well, this is Myron Molotky. He's the president of the XFC. This is Keith, the rock star Richardson, part of the XFC history and lineage, and one of the guys that helped us make it great. So, it's kind of cool. He's fighting for XMMA now down in South Carolina in July. So yep. I just announced for them in West Palm Beach. But so hang out with us.
A lot of respect for you, Keith. I've certainly know who you are, and thanks for everything you did with XFC.
Appreciate it. Love XFC. Loved when I was fighting for him, and I still follow what's going on now.
Awesome. Well, who knows? You might end up fighting for XFC again one day. You just don't know.
If it has conditions, I'll fight for it.
I love it. Yeah, and you don't have to go into all the meeting stuff and everything, Myron. I'm just, ball busted right here. Fucking,
I know you're ball busted, but I'm telling you, I told you we were talking about making some changes. So, but give me that address and I'll get you some swag and see what you think. All right.
Oh, I'm definitely excited to see it. I've seen some of the guys wearing it, so it looks, all world class and high quality. Anybody you want to shout out before you go, or any of the sponsors of the XFC you want to show a little love to, just like fighters do? I want to shout out my sponsors.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I can't get off without talking about Fox Sports. Thanks so much for everything they do, of course, and providing a platform for our athletes, and all of our athletes. They've been absolutely bringing it. Fight 1 through Fight 14. I couldn't ask for a better product than what they're doing inside the cage. And as a fighter-first organization, we know that the biggest assets are fighters and their performance. So that's what we love about them. All right,
and that's why we tune in, because we want to watch it. We want to see it. We want to enjoy the collision of chaos that goes on inside a fight, and it's outstanding. That's why Keith does it for a living. That's why I talk about it and announce it, and that's why you promote it, man. I mean, the three of us are the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, that's just it, And then, of course, your commentators, which I don't have any with me, so I can't bring them into the picture. But, Cyrus and Pat, it's such a machine, and everybody's got to be on it to get it to go around. And, obviously, three of us are not working together, but I think you've got a good team there as far as your, announcers, your commentators. And like you said, to me, the show looked good. I mean, I'm sure there's some stuff that if I was behind the scenes that night with you in the arena, I would have been going, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, but.
Hey, you would have had to talk me off a fucking ledge halfway through. So
you never let him see us. Great. You never let him see a sweat on TV, and that's the important part. Nobody at home knew.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
Well, listen, you enjoy the rest of your night, man. I hope your son continues his rehab. I can't believe that got kids up and running already. And that's it. We will definitely do this again soon. Myron, thank you so much. Like I said, I'll send you the address, and we'll get some fight kit gear, and I'll be pimping it on the show. I'll be like, sexy. Feels good.
Love it.
All right, man. Be good, Myron. Thanks again.
Hey, thanks a lot, fellas. Good night.
Good night. Boys and girls, that was Mr. Myron Molotky. I don't know if you heard. You were on there when I was talking about. I was a dick about the guy. When he first came to XFC, I just was. So you live, you learn, you make a mistake, and you have to be man enough to apologize for it. And I already apologized to him. I just wanted to state it publicly, just so people know that I was an asshole. Sometimes you got to own that out there.
I've been an asshole on many occasions. Yeah. I've
got lots of practice at it, dude. I'm good at it. Everybody's got a talent. I'm good at being an asshole when I want to be, I guess. So anyway, guys, it's Keith, the Rockstar Richardson, XFC veteran. He's fought, many places. most recently, I found out, I didn't know. I showed up at a bare knuckle event, and boom, there's Keith, the Rockstar Richardson. And I didn't even recognize him at first, but I see so many people. But he recognized me, which makes me feel special. But he was working with Taylor Starling, who became a sensation overnight with that fight at bare knuckle. But he's coaching her and everything. And it was good to see him. And then all of a sudden I see fight news. I'm like, Keith getting a fucking fight with XMMA, who I work for. I won't be doing this show. They're going to use, I think, Jazz up there, somebody in South Carolina. And when they come back to Florida in October, I believe I'll do the shows down here. So I'm cool with it. Those are good guys, man. I'm happy that you're going to be fighting for XMMA. The people there are awesome. They'll have fighter kits for you guys. It's really good gear.
It looks like the card's going to be insane. I think they got
John Dotson's there. Of course, the rock star's there. I mean, that's the big star on the show. We know, bro. People might not know, but we know. But John Dodson, Steven Styler, who was fighting for the PFL last couple of years and was in, I think, the finals of the tournament one of the years. So definitely some named fighters out there. And then, of course, the area of the country, you're a local guy there. So you do have your own following there, and you're fighting Scoggins, which I don't know if you guys ever fought before, but I'm going to tell you, man, when I saw the poster for that fight, I got a fight boner. I'm not even going to lie. It's such a
fought before, and we've we're from about an hour down the road from each other. So it's just it's one of those regional fight boner cards.
Yeah, it really is. It's but that fight in particular, man, you and Scoggins, and as soon like I said, I had never envisioned that fight before because you guys were doing different things at different times in your careers. But when that fight, I saw it, I was like, how the fuck did we not see that before? How the fuck did anybody not book that fight before and get these guys inside a cage? So I know what you do. I've seen you up close and personal. I know what Scoggins does. I've seen him up close and personal as well. And I'm just like, this might end up being, because there's some names out there that are bigger than both of yours, like a Dodson and stuff, and there's probably a couple of them. But I still think, based on what I've seen on the card so far, I still think you guys might end up as fight of the night because fucking that's what you guys do.
Yeah, and in the Southeast and stuff like that, the fact that we've been fighting for so long and we haven't come across each other. We're initially supposed to do this on a Warfare card,
right.
And Justin got injured a week out, so now it's got even more anticipation.
Yeah, it's definitely a time to build up and simmer. And the good thing is you guys are both still in phenomenal shape. You're young enough where it's going to be an exciting fight. It's not like you guys are 45 and we're just going to do this for blah, blah, blah. This is going to be a very action-packed fight. And based on what both of you do, man, it's it's going to be crazy, dude. Like I said, man, I'm so excited about this fight. So excited about this fight. On that card right now, so far, that's my pick for fight of the night and the fight I'm looking most forward to. But how'd the XFC or XFC? How did XMMA reach out to you and get you on this card, or was it through Andy Hall? Because Andy Hall is the local promoter helping them out.
Yeah, it was through Andy Hall, and Warfare, Warfare. Because I'm still their champ. It's been a fight that he's been wanting for so long. And since it fell through last time, this was the perfect opportunity, to do it right, in a nice big venue on a nice big card. It's going to get the attention this fight deserves.
Been a couple of years since you've been inside a fight. I think it's almost 2 years total, and it'll be just a little under 2 years on fight night. Are you what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say afraid or in fear because that's not the right word. Are you, as you've gotten older now, you're a couple of years older, 2 years out of the cage, are you more concerned about your well-being, I should say? That'd probably be the best way to describe it, as you get older in your fight career, because and I say that because as we get older, injuries take longer to heal.
Yeah, absolutely. No, because I'm not supposed to be here today. Like I thought I was gonna die when I was 23. I was I was in one of the worst war zones imaginable, and I already kind of figured that I'd be gone by then. And as far as as far as the age, I don't stop. I don't stop training. I've been ready and waiting and looking for a fight that whole 2 years. I haven't taken months off. I don't take vacations. The closest thing I'm taking to a vacation is I'm going down to
corner somebody.
Yeah, I go down. I feel like the time I travel is for fights. At that bare knuckle show in Miami with Taylor, just watching and she's doing some public appearance there, so we're going down there for that. But I was initially supposed to try to fight on that card actually. So
yeah, it's cool that you're back. And like you said, you were looking for fights last year. Nobody was really getting fights. COVID came and fucked shit up. And what you said about being at 23 and fighting in a war zone, being here, and I wasn't in a war zone, but I've legitimately died 3 times. So, every moment I wake up, I'm fucking just happy to be alive, and the rest of it will all fall into place. Whatever's supposed to happen will happen. I do my part to make shit happen. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes it doesn't work out so well, but happy to be doing it, and I'm happy to see you doing something I know you love. And it's funny that you said you don't travel unless it's for a fight, and you don't take vacations, and you're also coaching people. So your job is almost to just you can't coach people and tell them how to do it if you're not in shape all the time. So your job is just staying in shape and being ready.
Yeah, I'm not one of the coaches that I lead from. I'm the same type of coach I was as a Marine. I lead from the front. If we're drilling stuff, we're sparring. I'm doing it, and I'm gonna make sure I'm at the head of the pack.
Yeah, that's something I remember about you. The way you presented yourself at all our XFC shows that you did. You could tell that you were a natural born leader. You present yourself. I'm walking out in front. Obviously you're the fighter. But you can just tell that dynamic, even though these are your coaches in the corner, you're leading the show. You're leading the charge. You're that guy, I won't ask you to do any shit I'm not going to do myself. So if I'm asking you to go out there and put in, 5 minutes of the hardest work in your life in this next round, then shit, I got to go out there and put in 5 minutes of the hardest work in my life in my next round. And that's why, your students either love you or hate you.
A little bit of both. I'm brutal, but a little bit of both.
How is it like coaching somebody like Taylor who's doing the bare knuckle thing, and you don't have to get into jiu-jitsu and all that other shit with her. I'm sure you show her that anyway, MMA side, but right now she's bare knuckle. She's like I can't call her the queen because I think Britain Hart, even though Paige Van Zandt makes more money, I think Britain Hart has become the queen because she's with the heavyweight champ, and so now they're calling them the king and the queen. And she got the big win over Paige. So, and regardless of title, I think that, somehow people start calling her the queen because she beat the queen that came in,
the queen bee, people call her the queen bee, Killer bee. I don't know if you caught any of our interactions in the corner and stuff like that. Yeah, we've got a very fiery relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, we're sitting there cursing each other out in the corner.
That's what it's supposed to be.
But she's one of the best people in the gym. She's got 95% of the time, she's one of the happiest people in the gym. Always, looking to help the other guys, spar with people. And then there's about a 5 to 10% time where she's flipping the script and getting but that's the type of fighter she is. She is one of those females that is just born to this, especially bare knuckle, because bare knuckle is a different type of beast.
Yeah,
but she's great to have in the gym. She's got, she's just a great person altogether.
yeah, she's a mom. She works a couple of jobs. I mean, this girl's like all in on her life, and you know what? She's dictating it. She's controlling how her life is going to run, how it's going to be, and she handles it all pretty well. Except everyone. I think I saw something about her car broke down or something, and she was a little pissed about that for a couple of days, a little while back. But other than that, man, she just seems to roll through life. She's always happy with her kids. They see her on social media, getting her training in it. So, I'm glad that, you and her are partnered up like that. She's a good fighter. And, everything you just said about her, I already had a feeling that, that was who she was, somebody you can count on all the time in the gym to help out, do this, do that, and for you too, because, like you said, bare knuckles is a different animal. So I think it allows you to focus on the stuff you're working with her that will translate over into how you're approaching a fight for yourself, even if it's MMA. It just, you're focusing more on that boxing style and then adjusting it to bare knuckles. So I think it's like perfect for you. Like I said, I'm just happy you're fighting again, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, fuck it. I'm not even going to be like unbiased. I'm just so happy to see you fight again, dude. It was like good to see you down here. And then I see the fight out. I'm like, this guy is fucking, and I'll definitely be watching that fight, because it's the rock star. Bitches you don't know, you better call somebody. I've got some comments here. Forrest wants to know, what's the poster and pictures on the wall in the background?
Some of the stuff's from the gym here. I'll move it around a little bit. That's one of my
Rock Star.
Yeah, it's from one of my favorite pictures after one of my fights. Let's see with the glare.
It's okay. We got an idea. We see the picture there, and then you got gym pictures.
Present from some of the students.
Nice.
And then I got some banners and stuff like that, and we got like pictures and fight posters all over this place.
And well, that's cool. I like the War Rockstar one. I'm glad. It's a perfect spot for doing an interview right there next to War Rockstar. Mm-hmm. And Forrest also wants to know, what got you into fighting?
I initially got into MMA. I was a state champ wrestler in high school, and then passed up a wrestling scholarship to go to the Marine Corps. And when I got out, I just was not adjusting well. I was either gonna hurt myself, hurt somebody else. But as soon as I found MMA, it became my therapy. Like, I was way better off. Like, and I had a goal. I was focused again. I had a group of like similar type of brotherhood. Like, in the anybody that sweats and bleeds together, you'll form tight bonds with. And that was another big thing that I was missing from the Marines and stuff like that. And as soon as I started training, like, I haven't stopped.
That's crazy.
I'm kind of worried, like, what kind of psychopath I become if I ever stop training MMA or coaching or.
Well, let's make sure you don't do that. Let's keep you involved in the sport, dude. We don't need you going out there and unleashing on stupid people, because there's a lot of them. It'd be a lot of work. You'd be busy. You'd be busy.
Oh, yeah. Stupidity is rampant.
Oh, it certainly is, dude. And God, it sucks, man, so much. But it is what it is, and that's awesome. Yeah. Don't go out there and get in any trouble, man. We're too old for that shit now, dude. You have to now have sanctioned violence. Get paid for violence.
Yes.
So are you planning on staying busy this year? Like, this is I'm guessing this is your first fight of the year, right? So yeah. Obviously it's because you haven't fought in almost 2 years. So are you going to try take in 3 fights this year? Even though we're halfway through the year.
Yeah, as long as I'm not banged up and healthy, I'm looking to do work. Like I said, I was supposed to fight this fall. Me and Scoggins. And it was right up until fight week. And then he got injured, so it was a nice. I had MMA blue balls.
Oh yeah, that's
building up since then. So now I get to release.
Well, it's about time, right? It's going to be one hell of a load, I guess, you know. What are we doing, bro? Oh my God, we're going so crazy.
You just doubled down on a bad metaphor.
Hey, you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, you know. Yeah, sometimes every once in a while a conversation goes a little weird sideways on this show. But, you know, we're all, well, most of us are adults, or at least old enough to tell people we're adults. We might not be actual adults, but, you know, we try. Coaching, teaching, training. How much satisfaction do you get out of that, doing that all the time for people?
I always get way more satisfaction, like, you know, from coaching. Like, yeah, I love fighting, and it's what, you know, gets me out of bed. But like, I get much more nervous when my guys are fighting, and then, like, you know, when we put in that hard training camp, like, you know, like after Taylor's fight, it was like, you know, it was one of like my top two like combat sports moments. Like, you know, after that fight, it was ridiculous. You know, I get way, especially because, you know, I'm in, when we're fighting, when I'm fighting, I'm in control. You know, when I'm coaching, you know, we've done all the work, and now at that point, all I can do is, you know, holler some shit at you and hope you listen.
That's it.
At that point, like, you know, so like it makes me a lot more nervous. But like, you know, especially like, you know, when we've done everything right and it just, like, you know, works out perfectly, it like the joy is next level.
Yeah, and that's the leader in you. You know, you can't control what happens once, you know, the cage door gets locked and you're on the outside looking in at your student or your, you know, partner or teammate. And you want to, you know, because it's that leader. You know, you're responsible. You know, your responsibility, so you take it seriously. I'm glad that you're like that, dude, because sometimes I see coaches in the corners, I'm like, is that guy really here for this fighter? You know, I mean, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen that shit.
Yeah, you've seen guys like, you know, that are like just there to promote their brand, or just, you know, want to be a big shot. But that's on their coaching. It's all about the fighters.
Everybody wants to be a big shot, but not everybody can be a rock star. Ain't that right, brother? I love it. We got the Rockstar versus the Tank, July 30th or 31st, is it? 30th. That's what I thought. July 30th in South Carolina for XMMA. It'll be available on, I don't even know where they're going to stream this one, so I'll get back to you guys on that. I can't remember where we streamed it the last time, but they did their first show back after, you know, not being in the game for a while in January. Down in West Palm Beach. I went down there and was ring announcer for that show. Such good people, man. I was so glad that I had the opportunity, and I know that I'll be coming back to do that again in October. Good guys to work for from my end of it. And they are all fighter first, fighter friendly. So, you know, I don't know what hotel they're putting you in there, but down in West Palm, dude, they hooked us up. Like, and then, you know, like I said, fight gear, kits. I mean, I got all kinds of, you know, stuff that, you know, you don't expect. But I was glad they did that. They're connected with Head Rush, you know, one of the old school MMA brands. The owner of Head Rush owns XMMA. So they're going to come on big, too. So I'm guessing, obviously, our gear is probably produced there. Nice to have a apparel company if you're an MMA guy, I guess, right? You know,
absolutely.
Apparel. Mm-hmm. The Hyatt. Oh, you'll be at the Hyatt in downtown Greenville.
The inception of Head Rush.
Andy said you'll be at the Hyatt in downtown Greenville.
Living in luxury.
A little bit of luxury. That's because Andy ain't paying for it. XMMA is. I'm just fucking with you, Andy. I love you, man. I had to drop you left it wide open for me out there, dude.
I'm gonna go to the Rockstar and leave Andy's card as the deposit card.
Nice. Andy, you heard that, right? He's going to leave your credit card as his deposit card for the hotel room. So, you know, expect a big room service bill, maybe some of those weird channels popping up. I don't know, but, you know.
We thrown a TV out the window.
Oh, he's throwing a TV out the window. That's going to be a lot of money on your card, Andy, but you can handle it, bro. It's all right, man. Bounce, bounce, bounce. He said bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, I fucking love it. Just bounce, bounce, bounce. So, it's been a while since we talked definitely about MMA because we talked about Taylor last time, when I saw you. What's your thoughts of how big this has become since, back from our XFC days, how big this has really become as, such a huge sport that taken over the world?
Oh, I think, I think it's something that a lot of people need these days. Like, like we're living in such a sheltered world now, and like there's such a hectic world. I think
except for us here in Florida,
this type of like visceral release where it's just I don't care if you don't get any other sport. It's easy to understand fighting. It's two people using all their physicality, intelligence, in a combative manner where there's no balls involved, no sticks. Like it's just, what and can do and what you've trained yourself to do versus what they're able to do.
That's it, man. Well, listen, young man, I am so excited to see you fight this Scoggins kid. I can't wait for it to go down, man. Like I said, definitely a fight boner, create fight boners all around the Southeast. Like you said, man, it's something that I think a lot of people have had the same thought about as me. I can't believe it took this long for these two guys to finally fight each other. But it couldn't happen to two nicer guys. You guys are such big names down that area. It's going to be awesome. Good luck to you and God bless, man. And we will definitely see you again soon. You got any sponsor, anybody you want to shout out before you go?
PTSD Grappling, just started working with them. They got a big walk coming up, like a veteran walk coming up. I want to say July 17th. But PTSD Grappling, like they've been helping me out. Great organization to help veterans. Richardson Rescue, Parents Animal Rescue. All my fight team here at Modern Warrior MMA.
Awesome. Well, listen, brother, that's awesome, man. Glad to see you. Glad to just see you. Even happier that you're fighting, man. This is awesome, man. It's going to be a good time. And I might even be at that event. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to. I got to figure out that I might be up there just to visit and hang out. Fuck it, So enjoy the rest of your night, man. Enjoy your day tomorrow, man. And take it one moment at a time and enjoy it, man. That's all you got to do.
Definitely, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on.
Of course, dude. It's an honor to have you on, man. This is fucking. We didn't have this capability back then, so we're making up for it now.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Be well. God bless, man. We'll talk again soon.
All right. Later, brother.
Later. All right, boys and girls, that was Mr. Rockstar himself, Keith Richardson. But now, we were going to have him on earlier tonight, but he was training, and I'm never going to ask a fighter to stop his training. He's got to get shit in. He's got to get work done, dude. But he's here right now, just joining us on the show. Island Fight veteran, UFC veteran, back in the UFC, former firefighter, committed to life now to fighting for the time being, and I'm just happy to have him. He is the real Vanilla Gorilla. I know there's somebody else out there called themselves a Vanilla Gorilla. They're an imposter. This is the real, the one, the only, the Vanilla Gorilla. My man, Chase Sherman. What's up, homie?
What's up? How's it going?
Oh, I'm happy to be alive today, dude, and fucking chilling out, dude. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a minute since I heard from you.
Yeah, well, after you had your, so we'll back it up here, guys. So Chase earlier this year fought Andrei Arlovsky, didn't get the win. It was his second fight since returning to the UFC. First one, he came out and destroyed kid, and then this one, some people picked Arlovsky to win, some people picked Chase to win. I picked Chase to win, and then something happened. So Chase lost the fight, but Chase, tell us what happened. We're going to get right into it because I know you had a long day. I don't want to keep you a long, long time. I know you got to rest, especially because you're recovering. But tell us what happened in the locker room, I guess, pre-fight before you walked out with Arlovsky.
Yeah. So I was kind of. Can you hear me good? Or is
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good as far? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was kind of plagued with injuries during the camp. Earlier on in the camp, I tore some ligaments in my knee. I went and got some rehab at the UFC PI for a couple weeks. Came back, did a couple more weeks of training, re-injured it, and then that was 2 weeks before the fight, and then healed back up to where I could actually compete. And yeah, man, it was just my luck, man. We were in the back warming up, and it was literally the fight before mine, I re-injured it again. I planned it wrong, and that knee caught, and then it just snapped. And at that point, it was like kind of it was do or die. You know what I mean? It was no way around it. It was literally the fight before mine, and I was looking at my coaches and my trainers, and I was like, man, I don't know if I should fight. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even straighten my leg out right now. I can't even walk really, properly. How the hell am I gonna, you know what I mean? How the hell am I gonna, go out there and, beat somebody like Andre Arlovski? And they was like, man, you pull out now, they'll cut you. You know what I mean? They'll cut you. You're the co-main event. They've already had the original co-main event fall through because that was Stevens and the cat he was fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
Jakar Close.
Yeah, and it just I'm sorry if I seem a little spaced out. My damn dog is jumping all around.
That's all right, man. Do your thing, bro.
It was just shit luck, man. And my mind state before that was like, you couldn't convince me any other way that I was going to run through this guy. You know what I mean? I never really felt like that before in a fight, before a fight. You know what I mean? I was supremely confident. I was just super excited. I knew it was my time. Like, this was just a game changer. I've been through all this adversity during this camp. And I was convinced that I was gonna destroy him, and then that happened 5 minutes before walking out, and literally my state of mind, like my mental framework, went from I'm gonna destroy this cat to just don't get fucking embarrassed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, understandably,
he's
a former heavyweight champ, so I mean, that's a big, big fight. So you do what you got to do. I respect you for walking out there and doing the fight, but like you said, you didn't want to get cut. This is Chase Sherman all in for MMA. You left the fire department, and this is where you're making your run. So, hats off for staying in the fight too, because like you said, it was the co-main event, and the fight right before yours, it was already on. You're like, fuck.
Yeah,
that had to be a crazy thought.
And it was just, man, it's already nerve-wracking enough. It's already nerve-wracking enough being a fighter. You know what I mean? Waiting to go out there in the back. Warm up process, everything. You've heard it all.
Oh yeah.
And then you add on top of that, that you took on Andre Arlovski, essentially on a week's notice, and boy, get in your cage. He was sorry.
It's okay.
He's acting nuts. You take on, Andre on a week's notice, pretty much, and so the nerves are there, and then something like that happens, man. It was a mind fuck, and then you go out there and you almost finish him in the first round, and then you almost get the decision as well. The super close fight. It just, the chips didn't fall my way. You know what I mean? Like, I was so excited, man, because this was going to be my first full fight camp. I was going out to Colorado. I was getting to train. I was, I put it all on the line. straddling the fence anymore. You know what I mean? I took a leave of absence from the department, and I was out there pursuing my dreams. I was fully committed, and then you have something like that happen, and it just sucks. And I'm not here by any means saying, making excuses for why I lost,
Right.
But that's the truth. It's what happens, and I'm just saying that it's just a shitty situation. And
if you wanted to make excuses, you would have not taken the fight. You would have pulled out.
Yeah.
But even though you thought about possibly pulling out, you knew you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to go out there and fight and do my thing. And fighting somebody like Arlovsky and not having one of your best weapons, which are your fucking powerful kicks, dude, where you've broken guys before with those kicks, not having the ability to do that, changes the fight. It just does. So I get it, and I don't think you're making excuses. You're just telling the story so people know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, and not only just not being able to throw the leg kicks, man, but not being able to cut my angles, not being able to do the things that make me, I would consider me a special heavyweight. You know what I mean? An athletic heavyweight. Not being able to create my angles, not being able to generate power really in my punches, because that all derives from your base, from your legs, and also just kind of guarding that leg and making sure that it doesn't buckle again or give a telltale sign that you are injured. Not that it mattered, because he was blasting my calf the whole damn fight. You know what I mean? Because all I could do was walk him down and walk straight forward. You know what I mean? That's all I could do. And he's smart. He's an OG. He knows the game well, and he probably knew that there was something up. You know what I mean? Because there's never been a fight where I just kind of walk in a linear path, and
No.
I haven't done that in a while, and I had to just kind of go back to that old Dutch style, kickboxing, and try to hope that he would fight me. And once I caught him in the first round and almost finished him, he was on his bicycle the rest of the night. And he wanted to play the point game, and we knew he was going to play the point game because that's what he's done in his last, 5 fights. And hats off to him for that. He's 40 years old. He's got to preserve his career. But it is frustrating. And I could not bait him into a fight with me. And it is what it is. It's a learning experience. The positives to take away from it is, one, I made the walk under extremely, terrible circumstances, but I made the walk, but also to almost go out there and beat a veteran like that and have such a close fight and almost finish a veteran like that on one leg gives you a little bit of confidence, knowing that you belong and you can hang in there with some of the top dogs. And I honestly, that's what was really frustrating about it, was that in there, real time speed and knowing what I'm capable of, I was like, I would have fucking ate his lunch. You know what I mean? If I had both legs under me.
Yeah, it totally changes the fight.
That's it. I mean, I don't say that in an arrogant way, but I would have ran through him. And it is what it is. And now, we got a fight set for August 21st back in Vegas against Parker Porter, the guy I was originally supposed to fight.
Yeah.
And poor old Parker isn't getting away from this ass whooping. You know what I mean? No matter how hard he tries. So he's gonna he's getting it one way or the other. And I think I'm gonna go a different route on a training camp. I talked to Henry Hoof down there at Sanford MMA in Fort Lauderdale.
Brunson and Rumble and somebody, Usman, Burns boys, all training down here.
Yeah, Usman's actually he transferred out to Colorado because of the
fight with Burns. But yes, he'll eventually come back to Sanford, and do some stuff down there. I fully believe that. But that's he was with the Black Zillions, and then he ended up following Henry Hoof, starting his thing with Sanford. So he's been down here a long time. He was a staple here. So I believe he'll come back. I thought it was cool that he chose to leave to go out to Colorado and train before he fought Gilbert. I thought that was a good thing. It's sometimes it's good to get out of your gym and go somewhere else and pick up some new stuff. So that'd be cool if you came down to Sanford.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go try to plan out a little visit and go take a little visit, get a feel for it for a couple of days, and make my decision. Henry, the first time I talked to him, man, super nice guy. I'm always a fan of I'm always a fan of coaches that have a kickboxing background or Dutch, and he's phenomenal. His work speaks for itself. But what was even more impressive was that when I spoke to him for the first time, he knew more about me than I knew about me. You know what I mean? Like he's such a master of the game. He studies the game so well that he's even watching, these guys that are, not headliners. You know what I mean? Guys not at the top of the top. You know what I mean? Like he's watching those guys and studying those guys. You know what I mean? Like he knew how I fought. He knew what what my weapons were, which is obviously my low kicks. And so I feel like he was a fan of how I fought, and I spoke with him. He's like, I could tell that there's something wrong with you in that last fight, and because I watched a lot of your fights. I've watched you even your bare knuckle boxing, even though he said he wasn't really a fan of bare knuckle boxing, but he was very knowledgeable, man, and that impressed me because I feel like I'm not extremely significant in the MMA world, or not where I want to be. You know what I mean? As far as like being well known, you know what I mean? So for him to not only know of me, but knew how I fought, that was kind of flattering. And then we spoke some more, and he told me about how the gym works there, and he told me about that basically him and the wrestling coach, I forget his name. Oh man, I don't mean to sound ignorant, but the grappling coach there left for Black Zillions, and they were going to start their own gym, and what they decided to do was kind of reach out and to sponsors, investors, whatever you want to call it, and pretty much another super gym in South Florida, and they teamed up with Sanford Health, and Sanford Health is extremely, from what he told me, extremely interested on how the effects of MMA with these athletes and how everything goes and works, and so they created a insurance coverage, like an umbrella. So fighters there, if you get hurt in practice, man, like you're taken care of. You know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about wait until you get to the cage before you know what I mean can go get healed up. And so I thought that was really cool, and there were some other aspects to it that were really, really neat. And he just seems like a really positive guy, man. So I'm kind of excited to go down there and see what's happening. And I know isn't it kind of close to where you live, or do you live in Orlando?
No, I'm in Tampa, and that's down in the Palm Beach area. So it's like 3 hours away, 3.5 hours. It's not far. It's closer than Biloxi.
Yeah.
For me, So, no, it'd be cool. I think it'd be a good thing for you. Like I said, sometimes it takes a little bouncing around. Going out to Colorado and finding out what you needed to find out there, and doing a camp there, and now maybe doing one here with Henry, and then you might say to yourself, you know what? I get this from this camp, and I get this from this camp. You might split time. I think being open and willing to expand your knowledge base, as long as nobody else gets their panties twisted about it, I think it's a good thing for you. And when I say that, some gyms don't necessarily like their fighters cross-training at different gyms. Some people are very territorial. But I'm glad that you're going out there and experiencing it, dude. You deserve the best. And, you'll find the spot where you fit the best, and you gain the most knowledge, and then you'll have a home.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Well,
But
I was gonna say that. I'm sorry, you pressed for time or something?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say this. My only issue, I didn't have a really an issue with Colorado. I didn't have an issue with the team in Denver. I thought that they have really good athletes there. They have great coaches, and I love the coaches that I picked to be in my corner. Even though one of them couldn't actually corner me, because he tested positive for COVID on the pre-flight, testing thing that the UFC makes you do. So I Justin and Peter, great. You know what I mean? But when I got home and I started kind of thinking about everything that had occurred during that 8-week camp and knowing that it was such a close fight and knowing that winning that fight would have done for me, and then also knowing that if I would have finished him and had my legs under me and wouldn't have been injured and finished him in the first round, which I know I would have finished him in the first round if I had my legs under me, because he would not have been able to survive that right hand I hit him with. But then I'm by default going home with $50,000 in my pocket, because there was only one other finish on that card. You know what I mean? There was only one other bonus given out. And so, you're going home with, $90,000 essentially, a new contract, you know what I mean? Your name's getting put out there more because you just, beat Arlovsky. And it's just a game changer. And so for something like that, like a fight that's that minuscule, like, that there's, that it was that close. What ate me alive, man, was, a couple of the coaches there, man, did not want to listen to me, and they pressured me and pressured my coaches into making me do something that I was not clear to do after my injury. You know what I mean? After I told them, and that was grappling. I was not cleared to grapple for like 10 days. My knee was still healing up. I just left Vegas, and it was a sparring day. And I'm not going to name any names, but one of the coaches there, he decided that he was because we started sparring that day, and he kind of wanted to call me out in front of everybody because I didn't go to his strength and conditioning class that morning because I was getting my medicals done. This is 2 weeks before the fight. I was doing, what I mean? It's like I was training 3 times a day. So it's like when, what practice am I going to miss? You know what I mean? And it was going to be the strength and conditioning class, you know what I mean, versus actual MMA training. And so, I had to go get my blood work done, eye exam, all that shit. And so he calls me out in the middle of practice talking about, I didn't want to show up to train and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So he had a fire lit under his ass. And we go into the big cage to spar, and I'm in there with Mo, Usman's brother. And we're just doing our striking. We're just doing stand-up sparring. And this guy walks over to the cage, and he was like, "No, we're doing full goes. We're doing everything today. You in the cage. You're gonna full on spar. You know what I mean? You got all the other coaches standing around. You got everybody, your peers standing around watching. And it's like I'm already started. I'm like, man, I was like, I ain't cleared to grapple. You know what I mean? And he was like, well, if you're gonna get injured, if you're 2 weeks from a fight, if you're injured, you're gonna get injured in the fight. So you might as well see what it's gonna feel like. You know what I mean? See how it holds up." And I'm like, what the fuck? And my coaches, my cornermen were like, okay, I guess he can do a little bit of, light grappling. Well, there ain't no fucking light grappling with Usman's brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's heavyweight, former defensive end. He's super explosive, and he's somewhat new to the game and green, and everybody knows that somebody that's green is, you know what I mean? They're not really technically, you know what I mean? They're 100, 0 to 100. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's and I was like that too. Just an explosive football player. He played defensive end at Arizona State. He's just an athlete, and he's super explosive and strong. And I was like, all right, here we go. You know what I mean? And right before the end of the round, he went for a blast double. and pop with my knee again. And I'm laying on the fucking canvas, and this guy, this coach, one of the head coaches there, walks behind me. I'm laying on the canvas holding my knee, and he goes, "Oh, I almost believe you're hurt. I almost believe you're hurt." Like questioning my integrity, questioning my toughness, questioning my character while I'm fucking injured 2 weeks before my fight. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's fucking wrong.
I huddled out the fucking cage, and I was like, are you gonna feed my kids when I can't fucking fight? You know what I mean? This ain't a game, man. This is no, we're athletes at the highest level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And your ego is gonna potentially could ruin my career. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And what pissed me off about it, and so like that sat on me, and it really fucking, it really fucking got to me. Driving back from Vegas 30 hours by myself with a fucking beat up leg, you know what I mean? Just replaying the fight. And I was like, man, no, that's not okay. You know what I mean? That's not okay. And you think, you're like, well, damn, if that wouldn't have happened, I could have potentially fully healed up. And you know what I mean? I wouldn't have not fucking tore my knee or retweaked my knee right before I walked out to the fight, because what it was I had a complete bucket handle tear in my meniscus. And your meniscus, like, it's not like your ACL or MCL. Like, whenever your knee bends, that cartilage and and what'll happen is it'll flap over in between your femur and your tibia. And when you go to like straighten your leg out, you can't. You know what I mean? Because the tendon is in there caught, and it's extremely painful. And so that was there. 25% of my ACL was torn, and there's floating cartilage also behind my patella, according to MRI. So, it was just like, that didn't sit well with me. And so I kind of just, washed my hands of that. And it's unfortunate because I like a lot of the guys out there. And I love the guys I had in my corner. The coaches I had in my corner were great. And but I can't do that. I can't do it. You know what I mean? And you're watching somebody that's trying to be a part of the team fucking hobble off, and is injured, and you just continue to watch other guys spar and practice. You don't even come over there and ask me if I'm fucking okay. You don't even come over there and check on me. It's like, you want to question my toughness and like my mental fortitude. And it's like, do you know who the fuck I am? Have you never seen me fight? You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking bare knuckle heavyweight champion. Like, if I say I'm injured, I'm injured. It ain't, right. You know what I mean? It ain't a joke. You know what I mean? It ain't like I'm just being a pussy. That's what it is. And it was just frustrating. It was really frustrating. And what really even pissed me off more was like, that particular coach, he wasn't getting a percentage of my purse. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it didn't affect him any. In fact, he was cornerman for Mo. He was a cornerman for Mo. So he wanted Mo to get a full look. He wanted Mo to get full practice in, expense. It didn't bother him at all. You know what I mean? Like, as far as his pockets go. And in fact, when I first got there, I wanted this particular coach to be in my corner. You know what I mean? I wanted him to. I thought he was going to be in my corner. And once he asked, like, what my purse was, he was like, yeah. He's like, man. He's like, you should probably talk to some of these other coaches around here because, like, I would hate to have to take away like 30-40% of your purse because it's expensive for me. So he's basically like, you don't make enough money for me to coach you. You know what I mean? And so I was thinking, I was like, what if I was Alistair Overeem? And you're Alistair Overeem's corner. He's in Alistair Overeem's corner. If I was Alistair Overeem, what if I was making $500,000 a fight? Would you be telling me to fucking go full goes when I told you I'm injured? And you're getting your percentage off of my purse, knowing if I win or lose, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to affect how you pay your bills. Yep. No, you're going to treat me like a fucking thoroughbred. You're going to, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there? I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I am here. Are you there? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Shout out to Alex Nicholson saying, "What's up, my motherfucking brothers?" We were watching Cage Side with Christopher James. We were talking with Chase Sherman, UFC heavyweight. He's in the dark now. Are you there, Chase? Can you hear us? Can you guys still hear me out there? Anybody? Forrest? Anybody? Anyone? Bueller? Oh, we lost him. Wonder if his phone died or if he just was out of range. Or, the internet shit on him. I don't know. Hopefully he'll be back. If not, he definitely gave us full details on what happened. I have to wait for him to connect this thing. All right, cool. I want to make sure it wasn't on my end there, Mr. Forrest. He says his device is not connected. I can't add him. I can't add him to the stream because it says his device isn't connected. Let's see. Do we got him back? Are you back?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what happened.
Cool. I don't know what happened, dude. We were sitting there waiting for you. So let me ask you this too. Okay. I'm sorry. You were still finishing something. My bad.
But yeah, what I was basically saying is like, if I was making that much money and you were in my corner, you would make sure that something like that would happen. And you would treat me like a thoroughbred. You polish me up, bathe me up, get me ready for the fucking races. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not let your ego get in the way and question whether or not, I have the couth. Especially whether or not I'm not mentally tough or whatever the case may be. So, that just did not sit with me well. And so I thought about it more, and I was like, even though I really enjoyed the people that were in my corner, and those guys treated me really well. I can't go back there. It just left a really bad taste in my mouth.
Totally get it, man. So, like I said, you'll go down to Sanford maybe. Hopefully everything will work out for you down there. You touched on the knee injury and all the stuff that was wrong with your knee. Now, you're back training. You're doing stuff, and you went to probably the best, sports surgeon, knee surgeon on the planet, Dr. James Andrews. So I remember when you did, like you said, it wasn't the ACL, which everybody, the ACL is a longer injury to recover from, ACL, MCL. So how long has it been since surgery now? And how's the knee feeling? And if you didn't hear me before, too, or you see it on the screen, our boy Alex Spartan Nicholson was watching. He said, "What's up, my motherfucking brothers?"
What's up?
That's Alex. But I love Alex too. He's a trip.
I know. I miss him. I hope he's doing well. I try to talk to him every now and then.
Well, hey, listen, if you're down here, if you come down here to this, hey, listen, if you come down and you're at Sanford, he goes down to like South Florida and trains on a regular basis too. So you guys can probably be able to train with each other.
Yeah.
That's a bonus.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, he's an animal.
He is.
So what I was saying was surgery went well, man. I didn't have any pain in the mobility. I mean, I'm talking about days after. I was like, this guy's amazing. You know what I mean? This cat's worked on Drew Brees, Adrian Peterson, Gronk, all of them, Jamal Charles, whatever, every one of them. All the jerseys hanging up there. But and so it got done, man. And I was like, damn, is my pain medication still kicking in? Like, what's up? Like, but man, it felt great. So the pain in the knee really wasn't there, and the mobility in the knee was I had full range of motion. But what it was now I'm having to build strength back up in that leg because pre-op, like before I went into surgery, the doctors determined I lost 25% of my quad, my leg, just due to atrophy. And so, it's building the strength back up and getting my base under me is really where it's at now. And it kind of sucks because my legs were just such a dominant part of who I am as far as my strength goes, as far as my performance goes and everything. And so now it's just getting back under it and going from there. I've lost, some weight after the fight, not being able to train and do my strength regimen and everything like that. So, I'm barely 240 right now. So getting all that built back up is gonna, it's just gonna take time, and that's what I'm really gonna adhere to this month is basically pre-camp. You know what I mean? Getting ready for camp. So that's what we're gonna do. And my cornerman and my best friend and is the head doctor and head physical therapist at Neo Life, and he's been taking care of me. We've been getting after it, and so he's one of the best on the Gulf Coast. So we've been doing that, and now it's time to kind of start pushing some of this weight, and getting back to where I was and what I could do before all this shit happened.
Do you think that you could be just as powerful and strong and conditioned if you stayed at the 240, 245 range where you are, and you just, you got yourself, in fight shape, or you have to put the weight back on? I'm just wondering. He's frozen. It's a good look to be frozen on. Forrest, take a picture of that. I'll try to make the same face. Did you get it? All right, good. But I think we lost Chase there again. I don't know if the internet in his home or his phone company is screwing with his internet today. But crazy story he's telling us about one of the coaches out in camp in Denver, putting him in there against the big Usman, and this guy going full bore, full on sparring. I thought most of the schools now and academies weren't going full hard sparring. So it sucks to hear that, somebody at Chase's level is, I guess, bullied into it, being forced to spar hard when he probably shouldn't have. And that's bullshit, man. When you guys go out there and looking for your own gyms, make sure that you find out about shit like that, man. Because, you don't want to fucking kill yourself in the gym and then you never get to fight. So, and now Chase is back with us, boys and girls. Mr. Sherman.
I don't know what's going on, man. I'm standing right next to the router, so I don't know.
You listen, sometimes it happens, dude.
Yeah,
trust me,
yeah,
it's technology. But
so,
we got earbuds on you this time, and we have a good phone. This is probably the best we've done on our interviews, so I'm good, man.
Yeah, normally it's an issue.
You got crazy phone problems, phone screen broke, you had to use your girl's phone. I mean, and you know what? I didn't get to say this publicly, but you guys are you and Crystal are getting married, right?
Yeah, if she can act right.
That's the best news all day, brother. I love that. If she can act right.
We're getting married in September out in
Congratulations on that, by the way, dude. You guys, it's funny, you're a big heavyweight fighter and all that stuff, but you guys are like an adorable couple. You got the kids, good looking little kids. It's a nice dynamic, man. And I, for one, enjoy watching you guys, seeing the realness with your family, man. That's important.
Yeah, for sure, man. It is important, and you gotta, like I tell her all the time, behind every great athlete's even a better woman, and it's different being, a fighter's wife or fiance or girlfriend, you know what I mean? Because it's, and anybody that's in this game, that's in a relationship, they can tell you, man, it's hard because they got to deal with the losses and wins just with you, and they have to deal with the aftermath afterwards, as far as everything, the highs and the lows, and they gotta witness you making all these sacrifices and everything you put your body through, and then potentially going out there and getting hurt and not going the way it was supposed to go, and they gotta realize that they gotta see what kind of vulnerable situation that you put yourself in, and so it's you gotta have a good woman behind you, and I think I do. She was talking to me tonight. She was talking to me tonight because she's been doing kickboxing for a while now, and she's getting back into it. just to stay in shape. And she was talking about wanting to do a do an amateur fight eventually, and so she was I was like, you should do it, 100%, 120%. You should definitely do it, and that way, whenever it's fight week, I'm gonna give you shit like you give me all the time. So you can see, not gonna say that. But I was thinking, I was like, yeah, you should do it because it would give her a new level of a different perspective on what it is that we kind of have to go through, not as far as like this physical aspect of it, but the mental and the emotional aspect of it, and just kind of like the nerves, man. And until you make that walk, you will never know. You'll never know what it's like.
I agree with you 100%. Being the spouse of a fighter gives a whole new meaning to the term, for better or for worse. I've always say a fighter wife or a fight husband, depending on who's the fighter in the family. You all got a tough job, it's hard to support a fighter the way the fighter needs to be supported, male or female, and not be a fighter yourself. It's crazy, dude. So when you find when you find somebody like Crystal who is all in and all invested with you and what you got going on, and has the strength of character and inside of herself to be able to shoulder more of the load when needs be, when you have a fight camp, when you had to go to Denver, for a camp, and she had to, hold down the fort while you're out of town training for your fight, and keep everything going. Plus, like you said, dealing with your injuries, when you have surgery, she's having surgery. When you have a broken nose, she's got a broken nose. I mean, when you lose a fight and you're not in the best mental space, she's got to take that. And that's hard sometimes, man. Although for you, I don't know how hard it is. You're a pretty down to earth kind of cat. I don't think you get too over. No, I don't think you get too over fucking shitty like about it. You go, fuck it, I lost, I'm mad for a day, and then I think you're the guy that goes, all right, next.
I wish that was the case, man. But sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. And for the instance of this fight and how everything went, and it was tough, man. It was tough afterward. I was definitely kind of like, fuck, like I was definitely in kind of a dark place after that fight, because when you are solely convinced that you're doing the right thing and you're doing things with clear eyes and a full heart, and you're doing it for all the right reasons, and you're fucking diving into it head first, Hey, come on now. Chris.
I hear you. I can hear
Chris.
You. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here, dude. I promise you, I am here. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here.
Hey, there you are. Hey, look, I didn't lose connection this time.
All right, cool.
I'm like holding the router in my hand.
It's funny too, because you're going, okay, Chris, I'm going, I'm here, I'm right.
Yeah. So everything that happened, and the way it happened, and the events that took place, not necessarily just losing the fight, but how everything kind of came about. You know what I mean? I just had to I needed like a week, 2 weeks to just kind of take that all in and get my mind right. And then you have to go to surgery, and you have to sit the fucking house, and you know what I mean? Idle hands are the devil's playground, man. And especially coming off a loss, and you got to sit the house by yourself pretty much. And it's like, fuck, you got to really suck on that thing and think about it. You know what I mean? You got to fucking, you got to eat it, and you got to come to terms with it, and you got to move on from there. And that's one thing I've been working on, man, is just my mental, since I can't really work on my physical right now, is I've been diving deep into some mental training and the research behind that, and the scientific facts that are proven behind things such as positive affirmations and meditation, and just convincing yourself what you're capable of and believing in it, man. Because if you go and look at every single athlete from any sport, and I'm talking about dominant athletes, and you listen to them talk, you read their books or whatever, they have one thing in common, and that was their framework upstairs. You know what I mean? Their thought process. And for the longest time, I just thought that that's just how they were. They just had supreme confidence, but no, you got to work on that shit. Just like you train your body, you got to train your mind. And I just want this to be just a fucking vault. You know what I mean? Unbreakable. And I think really after what had just happened and everything I went through, I think that it's going to be pretty fucking solid moving forward. You know what I mean? Because ain't no shit ever going to happen like that again. I would hope not. You know what I mean? And so when I'm in the back warming up for my fights and I'm nervous, I'll be like, well, at least I can fucking walk to the cage. You know what I mean? Why am I so nervous? You know, at least I can walk, you know? So that's another positive. But,
Get your mental right. You know, I mean, and I've told a few fighters this before, you know, doing the stuff like you said, you know, positive affirmation, all that stuff. I also think like, you know, sometimes it's smart for a fighter to, you know, reach out to like a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, because they try and give you drugs, and have a conversation with the psychologist, you know, when you're going through some shit. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It just means that you're aware that mental health is just as important as physical health. And sometimes you need somebody to talk to that's not in your daily life, not in your circle, someplace where you can vent some stuff that, you know, maybe you don't want to dump on your family, you know, because that takes a burden off your family. If you could find another place to, you know, release and you know, psychology helped me out. You know, I had to go see a psychologist for a long time, and because I dealt with bad anxiety, and you know that person saved my life, and it taught me how to get through things in such a better way than I ever did before. I used to have to take Xanax, you know, because I couldn't fucking deal with life. I don't fuck with that shit no more, and I haven't in a long time. Like 9, 10 years, 11 years now, I think it's been since I had to, you know, take any kind of anti-anxiety medicine. Now, I will tell you, I have a bottle of Xanax with 10 pills in it, and I get it renewed once a year, and I keep it at the house. And I think that kind of acts like a crutch for me. I know it's there if I need it, but I never fuck with it. I throw out 10 pills at the same time every year. Going, Doc, can you refill it? I think it's just a security blanket that I need to have, but it's there,
for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So we all need something, you know, and I don't want to take them, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to take them. I got
just
this.
To kind of there you go. And just kind of reiterate, you know, what you said, you know, as far as you not putting that load or that bearing on your family, you know. For men, for the most part, it's we don't do that. We don't talk about our feelings. We don't want to put that load on our family. We don't want to overwhelm them with what's going on. And you come to find, like, you know, typically, like, a lot of women don't understand that, and they think that you're just shutting down. But really, it's like, you know, for men, we're trying to fucking solve the shit on our own. You know what I mean? And a lot of times that's not the best way of going about it. So definitely, like, finding, you know, if you're having, you know, any kind of issues, is getting with a sports psychologist, or anybody really, even if you're not in sports. But even if you're not having issues, like, you know what I mean? Like, even if, you know, like, just it's good for you, you know what I mean? It's good for you, for somebody to convince you, you know, that what you're capable of and what you can do, and to have that back, and have it backed by science, you know what I mean? To have it backed by doctors. And man, it's just, I've taken like full on hold of that. I've just been diving every night. I'm just reading and listening to different things as far as that goes, and how that helps. And it gives everybody hope, man. It's good. It's good stuff.
It is. It's awesome to be mentally strong, physically strong, and like, and you know, with your spouse, you know, communication. I think men have always been accused of not communicating with their women, and because we have ego, we have male pride, we're alpha, you know, and so we don't.
They don't want
naturally
to put themselves in that vulnerable position. You know what I mean? You put yourself in that. Yeah.
I learned a long time ago, Chase. I'm a lot older than you. I figured it out. You have to communicate with somebody, especially if it's your partner. So, like me and my wife, we talk about everything, you know, and I mean everything. You know, if my fucking butt is sore because I crapped 12 times today because of my Crohn's disease, I tell her, you know, I can't be embarrassed about it. She needs to know what's going on in my life. And that's a silly example, but the point is we talk about everything, the stuff that, you know, stresses me out, because, you know, when I talk to her about, because the reason I get stressed about a lot of stuff is because the things I do get stressed about, I think it's going to be stuff that's going to affect our lives. Yeah. So that's what stresses me out. So if I talk to her about it, it takes that stress off me. And then we, you know, sometimes we just figure out a plan together, you know, so, and I think you and Crystal have that too. Even though, you know, but your stuff, the fight game stuff, because you have to be so supremely confident you are an alpha,
Yeah.
and you have to have that, I'm going to kick your ass mentality, in life. Sometimes I think that that's more than you should put on your spouse, whether you're a male fighter or a female fighter. Sometimes I think, you have to have an outlet for that, just to go, talk about it, and you can still tell your wife what's going on, but say, yeah, I'm going to go see my doctor. We're going to dig deep into this, and I'll talk to you about it after once, I work it out. And that's cool. I mean, someone would get mad if you're going to a shrink, because they get jealous that the shrink is getting information that they're not. The women that truly, or men, the spouse that truly gets it is the one that says, when you say, I'm going to talk to the shrink, and they fucking drive you there because they know it's something you need. You know what I'm saying? So they don't get jealous, because, what's there to be jealous about? A conversation about something that would piss me off? I'll talk to you about when I can, but I got to work it out first. I don't want to, so, you're doing it the right way, dude. I'm proud of you, dude, for exploring that side of yourself and getting in touch with mental. It's
all,
good.
I'm doing it. I feel like I'm an intellect. I'm in my head a lot. I'm always in my head. So I'm like, hey, if I'm going to be in my head a lot, I might as well make it a happy fucking place.
There you
positive
go.
Place. And I also realized too that, I'm not getting any younger. So, we obviously take a lot of brain damage. I'm not getting any younger, and my physical abilities are not going to be what they used to be. And so now it's time for the brain, the mental to take over, the supreme confidence, to take over. And you realize, and once those two mesh, like when you're at your peak of your physical performance and your mental performance, you become unstoppable. And but if you let those little seeds in your head, man, the motherfuckers start to grow, and you constantly water them, then it's going to take an effect on everything in your life, your performance in the ring and everything else. And I'm not ready for that. I don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm just taking these steps, man. And you see it in fight world, man. You see it on both ends of the spectrum. You see it, guys that are like Morano, who's fucking fighting this weekend. His story. You know what I mean? Like you see guys get on these win streaks and these rolls out of nowhere, and you think it's because they're really training different than they were before. You think it's because, they're a supremely different fighter than they were before, a supremely different athlete. No, it's because of this, you know what I mean? It's because of this. And it's the same way, the other way around, Guys like Tony Ferguson, like, what the fuck is going on? Tony ain't no different really of a fighter than he was when he was on that 12-fight win streak. You know what I mean? As far as like his physical abilities, his training, his everything like that. It's not like other fighters just figured him out all of a sudden. But what I believe happened is, that confidence is just kind of slipped away. That mental has just slipped away. That little bit of doubt crept in, and it's fucking just it's a parasite, man. It takes over.
It is.
And you see it all the time, man, especially in individual sports. And this is the most mental fucking sport there is in the world, fighting. You can't convince me anywhere other. I don't care if you're an ace pitcher or a closeout pitcher. I don't care if you're a fucking golfer, whatever. This is it, Yep,
because this is you. This is not you hitting a ball. This is not you using a club or, shooting a basketball or throwing a football. This is tennis, right? Individual sports, tennis, golf. This is the purest form of competition. Bare knuckle fighting championship is the purest combat sport because of the way they do it. But any fighting sport is the purest competition you can have. One-on-one, you or me, fucking somebody's walking in, fucking somebody's walking out, or maybe they're not walking out because I fucked them up that bad. But you're putting it on the line. This is definitely a mentally taxing sport. And I'm glad, and more fighters these days and now have talked about, getting help mentally and going through stuff to make sure that they got their mental right. Felice Herrig, a female fighter in the UFC, she had a lot of issues, and she started seeking counseling and everything, and she's become such a happier person because of it. And imagine what you go through as a guy, as a fighter. It's got to be so much worse for a female because females get no respect off the fighting game. They're getting more now, but like girls like Felice, when it was, the girls weren't even in the UFC yet, people would shit on her, and a lot of the girls, oh, you shouldn't be fighting, and they have to, have this confidence to be able to perform and be just as good as their male counterpart to be accepted. So I think the female fighter, man, really, I'm a guy and I know what we go through as men just being men. I can't imagine, going through what you go through daily as a fighter. And I can't imagine what the ladies go through, because some guys just look at them because they're TNA, they don't even respect their fighting. They just think they're a piece of ass to look at, and they're hoping for a boob to pop out. And, so that's stressful to a girl, and fucking, so, both the male and female have different stuff to deal with, but I think it's actually my opinion, a little more difficult for the ladies because, they're coming into a sport that's been dominated by men for so long, and now they're making big noise. Some of these females really aren't. Yeah, I mean, look at Amanda Nunes. I mean, that woman is. I mean, she's a badass, dude. Fucking, it's crazy.
I wouldn't want to fight her.
There you go, guys. You heard it right there. Chase Sherman finally admits publicly the only person he don't want to fight is Amanda Nunes. Any dude out there, step up with Chase. He ain't fighting Amanda. Would you, speak of that, would you do that? Would you have like maybe like not a, I don't know how they would do it, but would you fight like Amanda Nunes in a charity event, like as an exhibition MMA match where, you don't go full strength on her, and, you cut out a few things. Would you do something like that, male versus female, if it was something to benefit charity?
No, because nothing good is going to come of that. And in a sense, you're kind of desensitizing people for, in my opinion, male and female domestic violence. You know what I mean? You're kind of opening a Pandora's box. You know what I mean? And you desensitizing society and the community and on what might be perceived as somewhat okay, and I don't think that's okay in my opinion. And I even if you do it with good intentions, I just don't.
Yeah, and the reason I asked is because we see top females training and sparring and doing stuff with top male athletes.
Yes.
So it would almost be like a sparring match, but publicly, I guess would be the best. I mean, would you? I mean, if you were down at ATT in Coconut Creek, and you had an opportunity to spar with Amanda, would you do that?
To spar with her if she wanted to spar, yeah, I mean, maybe, but I'm not. At the end of the day, it's like I'm not gonna. It would be a weird situation.
Okay, and I love your Southern gentleman attitude and very cavalier about it, dude. Chivalry is not dead. So
I'm not a saint by no means. I just would be kind of it would be difficult. It would not. I would do it in a professional sense, but it wouldn't be like I'm gonna try to like get any kind of benefit out of it. You know what I mean? Like it would be to help.
Yeah, no.
It'd be for charity. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but still.
No, I just like to make silly conversation sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you did just kind of talk about you taking 12 shits a day, so.
Sometimes I do, I mean, fucking, like Crohn's disease will get you, motherfucker, man. You fucking, woo, and the human body is not meant to shit 12 times a day. So,
Oh man, my son, he's a sugar fiend, man. He don't want to drink water. He don't want to eat normal food, and all he wants to eat is candy, sugar, and all that. And as well as I do, like studies show that sugar is just as addictive as any kind of narcotic. And so like he wakes up in the morning and he wants a fucking waffle with whipped cream on it every morning, and then he wants some candy after that, and he'll eat part of his food and then want just dessert. And man, this whole week he wasn't able to go to the bathroom, and last night he was on the toilet for 4 hours trying to get that thing out. He was so constipated. And just poor guy. He called me today. He's down in Orange Beach with his grandma, and he's like, "Daddy, I poo-pooed," And I was like, "Did you take a picture?" Because I was trying to see, like what's going on, man? Poor guy. He was in there, all night long, and I was like, "Bro, what are you doing in there?" He's got his iPad in there, and I'm like, "Man, I know you're 5 years old, but I know you ain't doing what I think you're doing. Like, what's going on?" He's like, "I'm trying to poop." He's like, "I'm trying to poop." You know what I mean? I'm like, "All right, okay, all right." So, but Yeah, bless
Oh
him.
my God. If he was like 14, then you know something's going on in there if you're in the bathroom for 4 hours. But he's 5, dude.
Yeah, all the socks missing and everything, you know. Oh, they all been there, but yeah. So
Oh my God, all the socks were missing. That's terrible. That's where all those socks go. The one sock you've only find.
yeah,
Mystery of the
it's like,
world been solved, man. I love it. But you said earlier in the show that you took leave of absence from the fire department. Is it an extended leave? Are you still on that leave? Can you go back when you want, or how does that work?
yeah,
When you
I can
decide
go.
to go back?
I can go back. Well, when I say I can go back when I want, is like when I'm done with my fight career. They told me that they'd welcome me with open arms. You know, I live right here in Gulfport. You know, so I'm surrounded by 3 or 4 fire stations, man. So I'll swing by all the time and chat it up with the guys, man. I miss all those guys. You know what I mean? And you know, those are essentially your roommates, man. That's like family, man. And people that you spend a 30-year life with. You know, you're there every 3 days. You're there. And you build a bond with those guys, and you know you you experience things with those men that you will never experience with anybody else. You know what I mean? You fucking go into burning buildings, you save people's lives, you see shit together, and you cope together, and you build a bond together. And even though I wasn't necessarily in the department that long, you know, even though it's been 2 years, like those guys are, I'm still, you know, close with those guys, and it sucks the way that it happened, the way that it has to happen, as far as, you know, I can't come back in between training camps and work, you know, but yeah, I'm still keeping my foot in the door, still keeping those relationships intact, because you know, that's when it's all said and done, that's, you know, I'm going to go back, you know. So
Yeah, I know. You said that, you know, at the end of your fighting career, you're going to be a full-time fighter or a firefighter, and that's good, man. You know, it was good that you went to the academy, you got all that done, and you worked, because now you know you've done it for a couple of years, and now that you've been away from it for a few months, you miss it a lot, and so you know that you made the right choice. You know, it's affirmation that, you know, you'll live both sides of your career the way you want. You'll get your fight career out of the way, however it ends up, and then you go back to the firefighting thing, which is something you know you enjoy because you miss it. So, you know, you've made all the right choices. So now you got the fight career, you'll have the firefighting thing, you got the right girl, you got the kids. Dude, it's a good day to be a Chase Sherman.
No, I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate you reminding me of all those blessings, because a lot of times when things aren't going your way, you forget about them. And so it's always important to count those blessings, even though it's the little things, you know.
The little things, it is. I mean, you know, I count mine every day. You know, my wife takes such good care of me, and you know, we're a partnership. You know, even though I run shit, we're still a partnership.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't hear her say nothing, so that means she didn't hear me. I'm getting nervous, but anyway, you know, but it's all about, you know, doing it together, and you know, unless you're single, then you do it by yourself and you live your life. But you know, I'm really glad that you got back to the UFC. I'm glad that you won a bare knuckle title. You know, speaking of bare knuckle, Beltran and Shoemaker fighting for the title in like 2 weeks, man. Have you been following that bare knuckle stuff, and do you have a pick on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I fought both guys. I mean, you know, they're just completely different fighters. You know, Sam is more of the point style kind of guy, whereas Joey is more of the Mexican boxing style kind of guy. You know, and just walks you down, and this is relentless. You know. And I mean, honestly, you know, I would have to go with Joey. You know, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I fought both of the guys, and I mean, if Sam can, you know, have the endurance and the capacity to stay on the outside and keep moving laterally and not get exhausted, then yeah, or maybe he might catch him, because Sam's got power too. He can catch him with the big right hand. So, but you know, the way that Joey fights, he was built for this shit. You know, he was built for bare knuckle boxing, He's got a hell of a chin, and he walks straight forward with just the crown of his forehead showing. And he eats everything you throw at him, man. And he will physically exhaust you and then he just, once that kicks in, he just doesn't stop. And when he hawks you down, when he walks you down, he's not like walking you down. He is like coming, like he's like, I'm almost at a slow jog. You know what I mean? Like there's no breaks. And he's coming down just like this, and just that Mexican style boxing, man. And with bare knuckle boxing, it's not like you could just rear back and crack his ass in the top of the forehead. You got to wait for him to make
break your hand.
Yeah, and he's just mentally tough too, man. He's mentally tough too. Because I hit him with a couple body shots hoping to slow him down, and he just still kept coming. My worst mistake in that fight was not finishing him in the second round when I knew I had him hurt, or the first round. I hurt him in the first round too. I was just like, I'm not gonna blow my man, and I'll just get him in the later rounds. But he just got better as the rounds went on, and I got more tired, because everybody knows moving backwards and laterally is way more exhausting than moving forward. You know what I mean?
Amen.
And so, yeah, he's built for it, man. And who say whenever I get done with the UFC, if he's still around, I'd love to run that one back, man. I'd love to come back and get a couple retirement fights with bare knuckle. You know what I mean?
That'd be awesome.
So they're paying motherfuckers now. So I'd like a piece of that pie.
Amen, man. Amen. It's funny. I remember watching your first BKFC fight, dude. I remember there was one point. It looked like you were getting ready to throw the fucking leg kick, dude.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Because it's just, you fought MMA for so long, it's just a natural thing. But you caught yourself, and if I'm correct, you both kind of laughed about it a little bit, fucking. And you know what? Moments like that happen in a fight, that just, it's cool, because at the end of the day, what it showed to the fans is that, yeah, we're going to be in here to beat the shit out of each other, but we respect each other enough to go, laugh at ourselves a little bit. That was cool. I love that, man. Fucking. So you're taking Beltran. I think a lot of people are on taking Beltran too. So we shall see. It's in a couple of weeks on the 26th. I can't wait to watch that fight. That's down in Miami. Then they got another card on the 23rd of July here in Tampa with a championship fight between Johnny Bedford and Reggie Barnett, because today they stripped Dat Gwynn of the 135-pound title for two reasons. One, failure to defend against the number one contender. And two, he wasn't going to fight, and he said he wouldn't fight the number one contender. And the other reason was, he wanted to get paid a lot of money, and the promotion probably made him a fair offer, and he didn't want to take it. You've dealt with Feldman. Feldman's a pretty fair guy. He does the best he can to accommodate, what he can, but he's also not going to be bullied into saying, you have to give me this. Well, you don't have to. You just part ways, send you back, and see you later.
Well, they built up enough platform now they have the power to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they got a big card coming. So it sucks because that's a good fighter, no doubt about it. I'm not even mad about him going after more money, but it backfired. No. I mean, you got people that are coming in that haven't proven themselves, that are making, almost $500,000, and like you fucking should at least accommodate your champion somewhat close to that. You know what I'm saying?
But the person coming in with that's making almost $500,000, just because they didn't do it at BKFC doesn't mean they ain't been doing it across the world. And right. their presence brings value. So there's a few of them, that they brought. And then there's other guys they brought in that have some name recognition to hardcore fans of MMA, but I don't know if they necessarily bring the value that they're trying to act like they bring. But that's a whole other topic, and I'm not going to go start shitting on people right now. It's too late at night.
It's the Bellator format is what it is.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, Mr. Sherman, I'm glad that you're healthy. I'm glad that you're back up and training. I'm glad that we're going to get to see you fight in August against Parker Porter. He's a good dude, good people. So there'll be no stupid drama before the fight. That's always a blessing. But like I said, thanks for telling the whole story of how the fight, what happened leading up to your fight. the whole scenario. We got it all, which is awesome. I love having you on the show, because if I ask you about something, you give me the whole story. I don't have to fucking.
I'm gonna talk to you like there. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you like there ain't nobody watching, man. I'm always like that in front of the cameras. I can only be, who I am. I can't really put on this facade. But when did you talk to Parker Porter?
I've known Parker Porter from back when I was with the XFC. I've known him a long time.
Oh, so you haven't talked to him recently? Okay.
No, I haven't talked to him recently. I'll probably have him on the show before you guys fight. I'll let you know.
Let me know what he says.
Tune in and watch. He's a good dude.
I ain't got Facebook, man. I ain't got Facebook.
Well, you can watch it on YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool. Well,
yeah, man, I'm on YouTube, bro. I'm like pretending I'm big time, so it's live on YouTube. It's live on Facebook. It's live on YouTube, and it's probably gonna go live on LinkedIn. And then I'm trying to figure out Spotify. Just doing the audio, but I'm trying to figure out a way to get my video to a platform where it goes out there as well. It's a bigger platform. So we'll see. A little bit here, a little bit there. I don't care, man. Fuck it. I don't care if there's one person watching or 12 people watching. I do this to have conversations with fighters. If people tune in, great. If they don't, fuck them. I don't give a shit. But I do give a shit, kids. I'm kidding. Of course, I want you guys to watch. But anyway, thank you for taking the time tonight. Like I said, giving us all the information. That's one of the reasons I always love chatting with you, dude, because I don't have to pull teeth to get you to talk. I say, all right, and go. And
now you normally tell me shit. You normally tell me shit I shouldn't say before we get on air.
Well, I have told you that a couple times, because you were
right. You were right. You were right, especially about some of the bare knuckle stuff we talked about. Because now I'm I'm glad I didn't say that, because I want to get some fucking money too if I need it.
Of course.
But all right, man. Well, I'll holler at you later. I gotta get some rest and going on a family vacation tomorrow. So. All
right. Well, cool. Enjoy your vacation. Have the good time, and keep me posted on if you go down to Sanford. When you go down there, and tell me what you think, man. Because it's a good camp. They're producing right now. You got a lot of good stuff. Got a lot of good bodies for you to work with. Down there. I think it's a good fit. So hopefully we'll get you down here. And you know what? Florida's freedom, baby. Florida's freedom.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, when I come down for camp, I'll be driving, so I'll stop. I'll try to swing through and say what's up, have some lunch or something, and chat.
Cool. Absolutely. Well, maybe we'll meet up in Orlando and hang out with Alex too. We'll get a little group of us together and go have it. Because you're gonna have to cross over the state at some point. So you come down 75. And then you cruise over, you meet me in Tampa, and then we'll cruise over to Orlando, meet Alex, and, maybe Ben Saunders or something. Fucking we'll go have a party. Fucking A.
Sounds good, brother. Take care.
All right, brother. Be well. Tell the girl I said hello, and congratulations. I love you guys, man, and we'll talk soon. Later. Boy to girl, that was Chase Sherman. A couple little technical pops right there, but, always good to talk to. Like I said, if you are watching, then thank you for watching, and you'll know that you got to go back and watch his interview. He gives you all the details. Thanks to all my guests tonight. Brian Maxwell from BKFC, Myron Molotky, the president of XFC, Keith the Rockstar Richardson, XFC veteran, and now fighting for XMMA, and of course Chase Sherman, heavyweight fighter from the UFC. Appreciate it, guys. We got fight cards coming up this weekend. I might do a preview show this weekend. I'm not sure. It'll be on Saturday afternoon if I do it. I'm also working on setting up a conversation with Reggie Barnett and Dak Quinn, or not Dak Quinn, Johnny Bedford. I may even try to get that on the show. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and always, thank you for letting me be a part of your lives today, and for you guys being a part of mine. It means the world, man. That's it. We out of here. So until next time, I am Christopher James. You guys have been caged out with us. Good night, everybody. Oh, wrong clip. Good night, everybody.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell's Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on, because we got some good stuff.
Throw up the deuces. There you go, baby.